Ladies and gentlemen and everybody in between, this is it. We are here for Top 32, Series 2, Round 2 of SVNES. This is going to be one hell of a round. We got dials flying around here, giving you guys the intro, and we're about to take it down to our first battle of our first group, kicking off right away here. Alex, who's up first?
First, we have Anestas Kubulas versus David McKeever. So this could be a very interesting battle. As you can see our bracket on screen, which I'll read out our top 32, which is obviously Anestas Kubulas versus David McKeever, Zenada versus Sandman, Hardman versus Liam Skahill, William Holloway versus Gert Kubarcept, Daniel Andreev versus Axel Toplin, Seth Miller versus Caden James, Marco Rourke versus Regis Shamontes, Jacko Farrell versus Joe Vala, Vitaly Isiev versus Danilo Bokov, Angst141 versus Brendan Stacey, Marcel Studzinski versus James Young, Kristaps Rasa versus Justin Philippa, Danielis Parangas versus Vsevolod Sambolenko, Kieran Bond versus Linus Tornkvest, Anthony Taylor versus Jackson Lay, and Cameron Mustard versus Peter Belarado.
Absolutely fantastic lineup of drivers. We love to see it. All of our incredible drivers squeezing through qualifying yesterday and making it into the top 32. So this is going to be one hell of a battle. Anestas Kubulas versus David McKeever. You can see them here as we fly around. Got that yellow S14 of Anestas Kubulas and that S13 of David McKeever. Super sick cars, very stylish. And in a moment we'll have Rise, our track liaison there, in his little light up little stick there in the middle of that course. He's gonna send those lights. You'll see it go red for three times, and then it'll go green, and you'll see these guys take off. So Anestas Kubulas here in the lead position, and here we go off for our first battle of the top 32. Anestas Kubulas in the S14, David McKeever in that S13, ready to send it in. Anestas, big initiation. Look at that, pretty solid in that first section of the course. McKeever trying to put the proximity on, and there we go. Lunches in right up on the front wheel. Maybe not quite where he wants to be, but he's definitely keeping that proximity. Anestas throwing in a beautiful lead line for David McKeever to follow, but unfortunately David McKeever doesn't seem like he's able to follow it, as he's falling quite a back. Transitioning into clip number 8 into 9. Ooh, McKeever makes a bit of a mistake. That could have been a straighten, but we're not quite sure up here. We couldn't quite tell here from this angle, but David McKeever definitely has a lot to clean up to make this battle his. So we'll get him wrapped up here, and we'll get him rolled around to the start of the course again. And we'll get him sent a second time for the second half of the battle. You'll see Rise again in that little light tree there. And it'll go red, then it'll go green, and it's go for David McKeever in the lead position with Anestas Kubulas chasing him in. Here we go, sending it in. Here's David McKeever. Ooh, nicely done, sending it in for a big initiation with Anestas right on the back door of that S13. Look at that, transitioning right with him. David throwing down a beautiful lead line, but Anestas taking every opportunity that he's given to get up onto the door of that S13. A bit of contact there as David McKeever comes up a little bit shallow for that outside zone. Anestas, though, putting the car right where it needs to be, and that right where it needs to be is up on the door of David McKeever. Finishing out that run strong are both of these guys, and we're going to wait for what the judges decide here. Absolutely fantastic battle to start with. Alex, what are you thinking so far?
Yeah, as you can see our drone cam here, it was David McKeever, very nice entry there from him. Anestas Kubulas on the back bumper of David McKeever, going through that transition, diving in and coming up that hill. Very nice proximity from Anestas there. David McKeever doing the most he can, pouring on that angle, nearly 90 degrees, nearly over rotates going there, nearly completely misses the clip, but Anestas hanging on and saying, "You're not going nowhere, my friend," and staying on his door. So yeah, we have a decision. Swipe him left for Anestas, swipe him right for David McKeever. We'll see where they go.
And it's a unanimous. Anestas Kubulas is going to get the win and be our first driver of top 32 to move on to the top 16. Next up, our next battle is Luis Zenada versus Simon Sandman, the sensational Simon Sandman, as we've dubbed him up here in the booth. Man has quite a few followers there. Definitely excited for him to do well here. But Luis Zenada also had a couple of fans show up and be incredibly excited there for qualifying yesterday. So this is going to be an interesting battle. It's a battle of the fan bases. The Luis Zenada or the sensational Simon Sandman. So here we go. We have the light tree. Rise is going to send him here in just a moment. You'll see that light tree once again. It'll light up red, then it'll go green, and these guys will be clear to send it. Luis Zenada, Simon Sandman. Here we go. Flying here is Luis Zenada and Simon Sandman. Luis in the lead position. Simon Sandman in the chase, rolling up the straightaway. Luis a little bit slow there, but Sandman not phased, sending it in, getting right up under the door of Luis Zenada here through this first section of the course. Could be a little bit tighter to the door, but transitioning here, getting into that outside zone, into inside clip 5. Nice and tight to it. Sandman clipping the cone with just that front corner of his bumper, but pressure on through this section of the course. Zenada doing a fantastic job in the lead, with Sandman taking every opportunity to put that proximity on. What a first half of that battle. That was fantastic, Alex.
Yeah, Simon Sandman doing everything he can to stay on Luis Zenada's door. There's just not many faults there from both of these drivers. Both drivers doing a very good job and making sure it's 2 clean runs. Let's see how the second half goes.
Absolutely, and here you'll see that light tree go on again, and these guys will be clear to send it for the second half of the battle. Will it be Luis Zenada or will it be the sensational Simon Sandman? Leave your guesses in the live chat, and as we send them here we go. Simon Sandman now in the lead position, Luis Zenada in the chase, getting a little bit of a gap pulled on them here as Sandman throws it in. Nice and aggressive, big angle there. Zenada had the course short, trying to find the proximity, trying to find the line of Simon Sandman as they wrap around that inside clip. Luis Zenada just cannot quite seem to find the proximity. Definitely a little bit outpaced here by Sandman, who is just right there painting that white line with black. Zero rotation from Zenada. That's gonna be a 0, it looks like. And Simon Sandman leading with one hell of an advantage. The judges will take it over to them here for them to seal the deal. But I mean, I think we know which way this is going. Luis Zenada definitely throwing up one hell of a fight. But as you can see right here, Rise, Ardix, and Tyre all siding with Simon Sandman. So it's going to be Simon Sandman moving on to the top 16, and he'll continue to be sensational on throughout today's battles. So next up, we have Adam Hardman and Liam Skahill.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting battle. Liam Skahill being a very profound driver and making his name known, but Adam Hardman coming from multiple competitions. We've seen him here and there, but can he make a statement today? We'll see as they make their way to the line. That beautiful start line looking glorious as usual, and Driftland, a nice sunny day, which is very unrealistic because it's meant to be raining usually. But
the fun part is that Alex points out the start gate because he built it. So
yeah, you know, I was out there till 5 o'clock in the morning putting up the scaffold. You know,
gotta put in those hours.
Yeah, it's, you know, I deserve a pay rise, but you know, it is what it is. We're out here, and here we go. Adam Hardman versus Liam Skahill.
Adam Hardman, Liam Skahill. Skahill opting to drive that Evo 10. Definitely not an orthodox chassis you see quite often here, so it'll be interesting to see how it fares in battles. Definitely had a little bit of troubles in qualifying, but hey, you know what? He's here, and that means he's enough, right? He's got the skills, he's got the talent to put it down, so now he's just got to prove it here as the lights go green. Adam Hardman in the lead position with Liam Skahill in the chase. Adam gonna send it in with Liam right on the doors, to opting for a side-by-side initiation right there on the door, but Ooh makes a bit of a correction, trying to stick with Adam Hardman. Adam Hardman looking really good as they come through this inside. Ooh, but just as I say that, a little bit of understeer. Now, it could have been because of contact, or Adam could have just made a mistake, but we'll see here as Liam tries to put on the proximity in that Evo 10, transitioning here into that small little decel zone as they get into clips 8 and 9 and finishing out the run. Beautiful job from both of these guys, but definitely some work to do, Alex.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it from that drone cam from Dyce to see who really what happened there, obviously. So we'll wait for them to get back to the line, and then after the second run we'll have a look and see what they have done. But it's down to the judges to decide, and our opinion does not matter.
Absolutely, and what's really nice about having Dyce here in his drone cam is being able to get that closer look at some of the instances that happen on track, trying to keep everybody, you know, we're trying to keep things transparent, and you know, at least you get like a nice fun drone shot, as well as the judges having another angle to take a look at stuff with. But here we go, lights go green, and Liam Skahill will take the lead position. And Adam Hardman will take the chase. Here we go, firing it down the straight. Liam not letting those tires catch any sort of grip, just sending it in as hard as he can here. Adam Hardman trying to push hard onto the door here. Big transition here onto that inside clip. Hardman finding the proximity and sticking with up until clip 6 here. Liam looking really solid in that lead position, but just as I say it, he's dropping a tire. Commentators curse as they come through clip 9. Adam Hardman putting the proximity on, and beautiful job from both of these guys. Definitely aggressive and definitely a fantastic showing from both of these guys. Yeah. The judges will definitely be taking a look at some of the mistakes that happened through this run. But here you go, Alex, take it away while we watch Dials' FPV.
Yeah, so obviously very inside there from Liam. Adam Hardman doing a nice entry. Liam just trying to push a bit too hard, cutting the track a bit, but coming through here, yeah, see, it was contact. Liam just pushing too hard there and just punting that front right of Adam Hardman. Sorry for the stuttering, getting warmed up here, but yeah, you can just see that little hit, and it's, yeah, that it was a bit clear there. We don't know until the judges decide though. Oh, wow.
Big initiation from Liam, and you can see that's what caused that first section of the course to be a little bit wonky, and I think that's definitely going to be something the judges are going to be taking into consideration here as they're going to be trying to find who made the least amount of mistakes and who shined throughout the battle. So you'll see that tire drop by Liam there.
Again. Oh yeah, there's a lot of mistakes there from Liam, but we will have to know who the fault of that contact is. So here we go, swipe him left for Adam Hardman, swipe him right for Liam Skahill.
Alrighty, we'll wait for the decision from Rise, Artix, and Tyre. Oh, we're having maybe a little glitch with our, there we go. And that's going to be unanimous that Adam Hardman is going to get the win. Rise and Artix and Tyre both siding with Adam Hardman. Liam, hey, you know what? Don't be sad about it, man. You did do a fantastic showing. We love to see an unorthodox build like that, Evo 10, and hopefully you can refine it a little bit and show up stronger next round. But this next battle is going to be William Holloway and Gert Kubarcept. We're ready to send them in. Alex, what were you saying? Sorry, my bad.
And you know what? Liam will learn from that, and he won't make the same mistake again. That's what most drifters need. They need to make this big mistake in the competition to learn, you know? You can't be perfect first time around. You need these mistakes. You know, you're always going to make them. The mistakes make you a better driver. So Liam there maybe made a mistake and booted himself out there, but he will come back the next round stronger and stronger, and he might be able to get the win one of these rounds. You never know.
Absolutely, but here we go. We've got two fantastic drivers and two very interesting builds here. We've got William Holloway in that KMR Mazda Tricks Renewable Lubricants RX-7, and we've got Gert Kubarcept in his big, beautiful four-door Toyota Chaser. So we're going to see how these cars go at each other. We've got a quite a bit smaller chassis versus quite a bit bigger chassis, so we'll have to see how these two mix on track. Will it be a beautiful recipe, or will it turn out not great? Who knows? We'll have to see how this goes. William Holloway, Gert Kubarcept. There we go. Lights go green, and William Holloway will take the lead in that four-rotor RX-7. I think the only rotary in competition I've seen today. So here we go. Big initiation. Look at the fire coming out of the hood as Gert Kubarcept lunges up onto it here, but makes a bit of a mistake here. William Holloway trying to throw down a beautiful lead run, which he is doing. Wrapping around the inside clip and taking off on Gert Kubarcept. Gert trying to stick with him, but just can't quite seem to find the proximity. But here we go. Pushes on the proximity here for through this section.
Big dive.
8 and 9. Big dive. But William Holloway just doing everything he can in that lead position to solidify an advantage. And you know what, Alex? I think he might have done it.
Yeah, you know, pulled away up that hill. Gert just anticipating it a bit wrong coming up that hill there. You can see he anticipated a bit more angle, but he had to quickly adjust to get on the same angle, and it just left him for dead. And yeah, you got to adjust to these things as a chase driver, and that's things you got to learn from.
Alrighty, here we go. We're going to get ready to send our second half of this battle. William Holloway, you can see readjusting himself, getting himself in the best position to take off and get the proper amount of speed to initiate with Gert Kubarcept. Let's see if that pays off. Gert going to be in the lead position now in that JZX 100 Chaser. And we'll see the lights go red, the lights go green. Here we go. We're ready to send it. Gert Kubarcept in the lead position with William Holloway in the chase. Here we go. That Chaser going to light off the tires nice and early and send it in for a flick initiation. with William Holloway falling back just a little bit, but finding the proximity now through this first section of the course. Here we go, big transition. Let's see if he can stick with Gert as Gert, takes that inside clip really tight, knocking him over with that front wheel of his. William Holloway having to make an adjustment because of it, but sticking with him through that section of the course, looking really great, putting the proximity on, but a beautiful lead run from Gert Kubarcept. It's definitely going to be a battle of trade-offs here with
it. A lot of flames at the back end of that chaser. Very
yeah, we love to see it.
So here we go.
Well, Alex, what are you thinking?
So you can see here, that was close from Gert there. Maybe a late initiation there from Gert, but William just pulling away. Gert not really timing them transitions right, and this is what I was talking about. Gert just getting left behind, because you know, as you're coming up that hill, you do want to let off a bit of angle so you can launch the car and slingshot it up that hill. And it looks like Gert just wasn't ready for that, and his car just didn't gain that speed. But yeah, we can see the other half here. Let's see how Gert does on the initiation. He is on that wall. Maybe, gets a C line there. But William, I would like to see a bit more angle there from William in the chase. Even though Gert is a bit inside sometimes, I would like to see a bit more angle and match the angle for the next run. But I do think, personally, this is my opinion, but I do think William might have this in the bag.
Absolutely. We'll take it over to the judges here in a minute for them to solidify a decision. But yeah, for sure, you can see Gert Kubarcept doing a pretty good lead line, but yeah, definitely falling short of this first sector of the course. And right here, this is going to be the big mistake we're looking at here as Gert comes in really tight to that inside clip, kind of chokes off William Holloway a bit, but not phased as William Holloway as he puts it back up onto the door. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they compare those two sections, because if you remember in that first run, Gert Kubarcept also didn't have the proximity through that section of the course, so that could be the deciding factor, especially considering the judges did mention it in driver's briefing not to cut that cone too tight. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what they weigh and what they weigh heavy. So the judges here, we're going to take it over to them here in just a moment. William Holloway and Gert Kubarcept. Look at these two beautiful looking cars. That four-door chaser, definitely a favorite of mine, but William Holloway in that very aggressive RX-7. We love to see those chassis here. We don't see a lot of Mazdas out here.
Dyce has taken us to the another world, but you know,
right.
Very beautiful drone flying here from Dyce. Everyone knows him, everyone loves him, and here he goes, swiping in, showing off his skills. You know,
right? Absolutely, and it's super cool too, just from a technical standpoint, how he's managed to get it working. I believe he's using like an actual drone like RC controller that he's managed to set up with the controls on Assetto Corsa. So it's really cool to see that even after 10 plus years of this game being out, constant innovations happening through the usage of Content Manager and CSP and having different controls for certain things. You know, that's how you get like, you know, game footage that looks really nice. You see all those edits online of cars that look practically real, but hey, you know what? Guess what? It's a game, and not only is it a game, but it's 10 plus years old. So, you know, it's interesting to see just how much the modding community has taken this game. And I mean, like, if we didn't have a modding community, this competition series wouldn't exist. I mean, this track is modded, these cars are modded. None of the physics on these cars were originally in the game. There's definitely a lot that's been done in terms of research and development to get drift physics working on some of these cars. So it's super cool to see it all come to a head, and we have these awesome virtual competitions that are now starting to gain traction with real life companies and real life people. So it's super sick to see it, and it's also sick to see just how much of a tool that the sim can be used as a practice tool for a lot of IRL drivers as well. You see, last season we had Connor Falvey, who's a real driver out there. He was here competing. You had the 10-year-old Harvey Goodall last season with his 350Z, getting himself some practice before he was allowed to go and some in real life. So it was super sick to see just how much this game has progressed, and just how much the world of drifting has progressed on this game. Like, it's really awesome to see.
And even myself, like, I recently got myself a drift car, done my first IRL event, and yeah, it matches up pretty well. The only thing that you have to think of is, yes, The only difference between the sim and real life is you don't have to deal with car troubles. That's about it. And that's
well, I don't know. William Holloway could tell you different. I remember him and I having a discussion about last season in ESDA. He had an issue where his car seemed to just shut off mid-run. I think we determined that it was he hadn't loaded enough fuel into the car, but he's learned since then, and you can see him sitting there in that RX-7, sitting pretty, that four-rotor, spitting flames every chance it gets.
That's probably why it goes through so much fuel.
Right? It's burning it off. It's throwing it out the exhaust.
Yeah.
It's like those make it rain like cash guns, except it's like you're shooting gas into the air, you know?
Yeah. Can't be friendly for the environment, but
no, but it can be friendly for my wallet. I'll just grab a bowl and catch all the fuel that he throws out of his exhaust, then I'll have some extra gas without having to pay for it.
Yeah, all that oil and 99 mix, you know.
Right. Speaking of that, renewable lubricants, you can definitely go over there and get yourself some stuff for rotaries if you're into that kind of stuff. It's really cool to see that William Holloway, driver of that KMR virtual team, super sick to see him go on and do real world stuff. Well, that's the one thing that I've really enjoyed about the sim stuff, and why I was kind of talking about it, is that it's really cool. Some of these like better sim drivers have gotten themselves opportunities to work with real life drivers. I mean, we have here William Holloway, who drives virtually for Kyle Mohan Racing and also works on Kyle's team. We have another driver, Anthony Taylor, who is on Zone 1. We works with Blake Olson. And here we go. We have a decision finally here from the judges. So we'll take it over to that screen and swipe him left for William Holloway, swipe him right for Gert Kubarcept. That's going to be 1, 2, and 3 unanimously. William Holloway of that KMR RX-7 is going to be moving on to the top 16, which means next up we have, I believe, Daniel Andreev versus Axel Toplin.
Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting battle here. S15 versus Altezza.
Oh, yes, that's right. Toplin's the one driving that Altezza. It's going to be really interesting to see how that thing performs in competition. Definitely a unique build for sure. You don't see a lot of them these days, so it's super sick to see somebody finally committing to that chassis and try to make it as competitive as possible. So let's see if Axel Toplin can keep up with one of the greatest. We basically just said, hey, Axel, you built a fresh new car. It's a experimental chassis. Here, go up against our best guy of the season.
Yeah, and if we're being honest, it's going to be a hard battle, but I've heard that data that on that car, the physics and everything, it's amazing. So we'll see what happens here.
Well, let's see what happens then. Daniel Andreev to lead in Axel Toplin. Daniel Andreev looking beautiful in that initiation with Axel falling back just a little bit. But hey, look at that. Pushes on the proximity, transitioning here. Going to get up onto the door of that S15. Let's see. Let's hope he doesn't pull away. And oh, just as I say that, yep, Daniel Andreev takes up that throttle and gets away from Axel Toplin. But here we go. Toplin sending it in, transitioning bumper to bumper. Did you see that transition, Alex?
Very nice. Coming in from Axel Toplin. I would like to see a bit more angle from Daniel Andreev coming up that hill. It was a bit too much of a, angle deduction, but
you have to be fair, we don't know that exactly, right? I mean, like, that section of the course is somewhere where we do have to drop angle, and Daniel Andreev is well within his rights to do so, especially considering that is the line you have to take, You transition nice and hard through outside clip 4 and into the inside clips so that you can get that speed and slingshot out of it, so ideally he'd hold the bigger angle, but if you have to lower it, you're allowed to. But here we go, Axel Toplin sending it in. Big angle from that IS300, looking beautiful as it transitions here into inside clip 5 as Daniel Andreev puts on the proximity right there with him. Here we go, Axel Toplin pouring on the angle, trying to get into outside clip 7, transitioning into 8. Daniel Andreev just throwing a masterclass of chase driving in that chase position, just putting it straight onto that 4-door Altezza there. Alex, what are you thinking of this battle so far?
Yeah, it's a very keen battle, as you can see here. Very big gap off the start. Axel Toplin diving in, gaining a bit of proximity there, trying to gain all that ground back. But here we go down this transition. Very nice through there. And you can see here, yeah, it does look about right, to be fair. It probably is just that camera angle. So Axel Toplin leaving a bit of space here and leaving maybe a bit too much on the table for Daniel Andreev.
Fair enough. And then as you can see, actually, I don't think we have the replay of that second run, but Axel Toplin was definitely giving Andreev a lot of room for improvement here. Axel Toplin definitely putting on a pretty decent chase run, but just didn't quite seem to have the pace, especially coming up here on up to outside zone 6. That seems to be where the fast guys are fast and the slow guys unfortunately get bit. But hey, you know what, Axel Toplin, he got back up onto the door and finished out the run with quite a bit of proximity. And it looks like we got a decision, but we've got the wrong drivers on the decision. So here we go. Swipe him left for Daniel Andreev and swipe him right for Axel Toplin. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3 in quick succession. Daniel Andreev will be getting the win and moving on to top 16, which means, Alex, who do we got here next?
Here we have Seth Miller in lead versus Caden James in the chase.
Oh man, this is going to be an interesting battle. Seth Miller driving that F22, but even more interesting is Caden James behind him in that V8 powered Aston Martin. You do not see those very often. I feel like they've gotten a bit more popular after a certain somebody in Formula Drift started running a twin supercharged V12 one. But hey, you know what? Caden James throwing down one of the most unique builds of the series, because I'm pretty sure there's not I don't think there's more than one of these. I think this is the only one so far in SVDS. So we saw it perform pretty decent in qualifying. He had a couple of mistakes, but it looked really good either way. So we'll see how it performs going up against Seth Miller in a very already proven chassis. That F22 always proving to be a very good entry vehicle for most people to compete in. So here we go. Lights go green, and unfortunately Seth Miller did not see the lights, so we're flashing him again. Here we go. Seth Miller sees it this time, and he comes out of the start chicane with Caden James chasing him in here. Seth Miller ready to send it in. Big flick initiation. Caden opting for a side-by-side initiation and putting it right up onto the door. Beautiful job with that proximity, putting the pressure on. Coming through inside clip 5 here. Seth Miller doing a beautiful run, but Caden James is not letting him go. Spitting flames up the side of that fender and not letting him go. Putting that pressure on the transitions onto the door of that F22, and just wow, absolutely putting on a clinic in that chase position. That Aston Martin, like I said, you can't underestimate it. It may be a fresh chassis, it may be new to the series, but hey, it is one hell of a battler. That car is fantastic, and the driver behind it's probably even more so. So Seth Miller's definitely got his work cut out for him. Threw down a pretty decent lead, but opened up a lot of doors for Caden James to get in there and get up onto the door. So Caden James definitely put on a pretty good show in that chase position. So let's flip-flop it and see how he does in the lead position coming out of that start chicane. Caden James now in that Aston Martin, going to be chased in by Seth Miller. Big full-look initiation. Seth also opting for that side-by-side initiation, lunging in, but hesitates just a little bit, but there we go, finds the proximity. Caden James throwing down a really nice lead line. Beautiful job in the inside clip 5 with Seth Miller falling back just a little bit, dropping a bit of angle, trying to follow up. Oh my God! Goes up onto the bank and rolls that multi-million-dollar Aston Martin.
Oh no!
Oh, that is unfortunate. I don't think it's actually a multi-million-dollar car. I mean, I think those things go for probably somewhere around the 100K mark, but I mean, still, that's a pretty insane crash to have in an Aston Martin. Such a crazy build, and it just looks like it kind of bit him there. We'll have to see. Obviously, we don't get the full picture here. We'll have to take a look at maybe the Dials FPV look here,
that's
or see what the judges think, because it'll depend on who was at fault for that. If it was just Caden going into it on his own, or if maybe there was some lag, or
you see Caden's chase here. Very good chase, but that mistake in the lead, I don't know. Maybe he gets power points.
Right, he did do a flip. He did do a flip.
Yeah, and you know, so I think, you know what's funny? I think the A80s in the pits are worth more than the Aston Martin. And
that's actually kind of a good point. You're wrong for that, but you're right.
The S15s as well. Like maybe this F22 as well. That's
actually, the F22s are still pretty common. I think that they're still pretty. They hold their value pretty well, but probably don't cost more than an Aston Martin.
Yeah,
you know what? Look at that.
It's an older Aston Martin, so it isn't that much to get one of them. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. But I don't think we have to replay from that.
Yeah, I don't think we have a replay from the lead run. Yeah, this is the previous previous battle, but Caden James here. It is unfortunate to see that crash, because he did put on one hell of a chase run onto the door of Seth Miller. So here's hoping maybe it was hardware issue, or maybe it was a contact we didn't see or something, but Caden James definitely, if he did crash on his own accord, then he's definitely throwing away what could have been a really good battle. So that is unfortunate. Again, we're seeing this is the battle beforehand. This was Daniel Andreev and Axel Toplin.
Oh,
here we go. Oh no, it's still the chase run, but that's all right.
It looks like we're trying to load the replay for the flip, but we're just trying to get it loaded for you guys for entertainment value. But yeah, that was spectacular. That was the best thing. That's the best thing that's happened so far on this track. Very realistic, because a lot of people do that in real life. So is a very unfortunate thing there for Caden James. But yeah, he just dropped that tire, went up the bank, and decided to turn into Tony Hawk.
That is absolutely unfortunate. I think we've only seen like 1 or 2 guys do that. Unfortunately, Brandon Carter also doing that in qualifying yesterday, and I will not let him live it down because it was hilarious. But Caden James also making that mistake and heading up onto that bank and flipping his car, and it's going to be unfortunate. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes for sure. Alrighty, here we go. Swipe him left for Seth Miller. Swipe him right for Caden James and Alex. I have a feeling how this is going to go. That's 1, 2, 3. Seth Miller will get the win outright, and we'll be moving on to the top 16, which is unfortunate. Caden James definitely had that moment of brightness in his chase, and would have been interesting to see him go a little bit farther, but now we have another pretty good heater of a battle that's about to happen. We have Mark O'Rourke and Arias Shamontes.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna be a bit biased here because Arias is my I do drift with him in real life, so I'm very excited to see what he can do here. But Mark O'Rourke, I think he's gonna put up a very tough fight.
Here we go in the lead position. Mark O'Rourke in that A80 Supra going to be transitioning and sending it into that outside zone. Beautiful job from Arias Shamontes throwing down that initiation, but unfortunately hesitates just a little bit. Mark O'Rourke, notably a really good driver from our last event, so he's going to be looking to repeat his last performance. Here we go, setting it into outside zone 6. Mark O'Rourke doing a fantastic job with Arias Shamontes now putting on the proximity and the pressure. Beautiful job as he transitions into that last section of the course, that 400Z. Definitely proving to be one phenomenal and one formidable drift chassis. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does on that lead position. Mark O'Rourke going to be now in the chase position in that A80 Supra. I can't quite pick out a person who has an advantage just yet, so let's see how this second run is going to go. Mark O'Rourke now in the chase position and Arias Shamontes in the lead as the lights go green, and here we go. Alrighty, Arias Shamontes in the lead position. Mark O'Rourke in the chase. Arias sending it in. Big flick initiation right up on that A line like you like to see, but Mark O'Rourke, big dive up onto the door and holds it there. No hesitation from Mark O'Rourke. He knows that Arias is going to give him a good lead run here, so Mark O'Rourke is not letting anything go to chance. He is putting on the pressure. Look at that proximity. My man is just stuck to the door of that 400Z in that outside zone 9 and finishing up the run strong. Wow, that was absolutely fantastic. And a perfect parking job to boot, Alex.
Yeah, it's perfect. There we go. You can see this chase run from Mark O'Rourke. Big diving and just keeps diving and just sticks it to that door, putting tire marks all over that Skuko logo.
Well, metaphorically anyways.
Yeah, metaphorically. But coming up here, just laying off the angle just to get that bit more proximity, and it's just such a class chase run in from Mark O'Rourke. Just pushing him across the line. And yes, I think we know who has a bit of an advantage here, but we'll have to let the judges decide.
Absolutely. You can see Mark O'Rourke also putting on one hell of a lead line, being on that A line for for all 3 of those first few clips. Coming nice and tight to that inside clip. Area Shamontes definitely stuck with him, but just didn't quite seem to have the aggressive proximity that Mark O'Rourke did. So Mark doing a beautiful job in that lead position. You can see him getting into these clips nice and heavy, nice and strong, and finishing out the run absolutely flawlessly. So it'll definitely be one to watch for the judges here. They'll be looking for the little mistakes, and this is exactly the kind of battle you want to see, the kind of battle where it's not a battle of who did the least amount of mistakes. It's the battle of who did a better run. We love to see these tight, close battles between very, very talented drivers. That's what SVDS is all about, taking the best of the best with their fast cars and putting them on this little UK track and watching them send it. It's like if you ever played with those slot cars as a kid and you tried to get them going as fast as they could before they flew off the track. That was my favorite as a kid, and it's super cool to watch these guys go around this little track with their big 1,000 horsepower pro cars and you know, make it look easy. Because I assure you, it is not easy, man. I took my S14 to this track the other day, and man, I was struggling for those first few runs. So here we go. We have a decision. Swipe them left for Marco O'Rourke. Swipe them right for Area Shamontes. Rise, Arctics, and Tyre. Let's see how they vote. That's 1, 2, and 3. Marco O'Rourke gets the win, and we'll be moving on to the top 16 in his beautiful A80 Supra. Absolutely fantastic showing from Area Shamontes. You can't back him down because he did a fantastic job. Just didn't quite do enough. Marco O'Rourke moving on to that top 16. Oh, we got the rings, lad. We got the rings going on. We got the tandem donuts here as they match their front ends to each other and do some good skids for you.
And obviously, Arias backing down because he cannot win against an Irish guy doing rings. So, you know. But
absolutely
anyway.
not. Next up, we have Jack O'Farrell versus Joe Vala. Vala definitely showing up in one of the more interesting looking vehicles here, that S13, looking a bit more like a street car like we pointed out yesterday, but it is definitely a monster under the hood. Jack O'Farrell, though, not one to sleep on here as he comes out of that start chicane in that beautiful R32 two-door here. Big initiation, flick initiation from Jack O'Farrell, looking really solid with Vala getting right up onto the door, cutting the line a little bit to get there, but gets there in terms of proximity, puts it right onto the door of Jack O'Farrell here. Look at this, sending it up towards clip 6, not trying to lose him as Joe Vala putting it right up onto the side of him, losing a little proximity through this section, but O'Farrell throwing down a clinic in the lead position. Look at that, nicely done through zone 9 with Joe Vala definitely putting on a pretty good run. Could be a little bit more aggressive, but hey, you know what, we'll take it to the lead run to see if he can do it better than O'Farrell did. Farrell doing a pretty good run there in his R32. We'll have to see how it stacks up in the chase position. This is going to be an interesting one for sure, Alex.
Yeah, and I think this is O'Farrell's second competition, so this is going to be very interesting. Same for Joe Vala. There's 2 rookies here.
But here we go. Joe Vala in the lead position. O'Farrell ready to chase him into that R32, chasing in that 240 SX. Look at that big initiation from Joe Vala. O'Farrell just not quite having the proximity to this section of the course. Gonna have to lunge up through this little decel zone here. Vala, though, throwing down one hell of a lead run so far. Almost flawless as he comes around up to clip 6 with O'Farrell trying to get up onto the door of that 240. Puts on the pressure, but just can't quite seem to find a groove, you know? He's getting up there, but he's not quite settled in like Joe Vala was. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how the little mistakes and how the little corrections, they all kind of add up, you know? So it'll be interesting to see if the judges see it one way or the other. Jack O'Farrell, once again, looking at his lead. Pretty solid with Vala. Once again, you can see him cutting the line just a little bit to keep up onto the door. Alex, what are you thinking so far?
Yeah, very nice run there from both drivers, doing the most they can. But yeah, I think it's going to be down to the judges to decide for this one. But yeah, it's a very good run from these 2 guys, and yeah, here we go. We just see the other half of this. Jack O'Farrell missing the outer zones there, trying to keep up with Joe Vala, but Joe Vala doing a very nice lead line. And yeah, basically straightening there from Jack O'Farrell, so I think it might be a bit leaning towards Joe Vala there.
For sure. It's definitely not up to us, but I mean, looking at it here, we try our best to report on what we see so that if anybody is confused there in chat can at least get our perspective on it. We're here watching it live. with you guys. We're watching it with our beautiful streamer Blackout. Want to give him a shout out. He does, like, I swear to God, this man is in like 40 different series streaming for everybody. So it's amazing how he keeps himself going straight. So he's definitely doing his best to deliver you guys a good show, and we're here trying to supplement that for sure. But we should be getting a decision here soon. But Jack O'Farrell and Joe Vala, both of these cars looking absolutely sick. I love to see these things. That 240 looking really good with that street car style livery. But here we go. Swipe him left for Jack O'Farrell. Swipe him right for Joe Vala. Let's see. It's the battle of the rookies. Who's going to move on to the top 16? And oh, it's 1, 2, 3. Oh, not quite. Okay, so it's not unanimous, but we get a one more time battle. Jack O'Farrell and Joe Vala going to go at it again. I guess the judges just decided that there was a couple of mistakes from both drivers that kind of evened themselves out. So we're going to get to see them run again. And I believe these guys are the last battle of this group. So we should be loading in a new group after they're done. So we'll be, after this run, we'll be getting a bit of an ad break. Apologies for the ads, by the way. I had a comment the other day from a friend of mine who was like, you know, run any more ads and you guys are going to look like FD. And I'm like, well, hey, you know what? We gotta show support for our sponsors. They provide the money to get these tracks done, get the physics done, and pay our staff for their awesome and very talented time. So we'll go to an ad break after this run. But for now, let's watch these two cars slide. Jack O'Farrell, Joe Vala, ready to send it in. Jack gonna go for a big initiation here. Look at that, right up on the door. That was Joe Vala. Look at that, putting that pressure on right from the start. Vala taking exactly what an OMT should be. An OMT is judges basically saying, we want to see more from you. And Joe Vala definitely doing that, just that, trying to show a little bit more of what he's capable of, putting it right up under the door of Jack O'Farrell as they transition here. O'Farrell running a beautiful lead line, but Vala not backing down until the end of that course. Beautiful job from both of these drivers. Let's switch him up. Alex, what are you thinking so far?
Yeah, hey, Joe Vala just putting it all on the line there, absolutely pushing Jack O'Farrell around, and we're gonna see what Jack O'Farrell can do. I know the Irish blood is running through his veins, so you might see a bit of James Dean come out of him here, you know. We could.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Alrighty, well, for the second half of this one more time battle, the lights go red and the lights go green. Joe Vala will take off in the lead position. Jack O'Farrell is going to be in the chase position here in that R32 two-door. Going to follow in that 240SX. Oh, a little bit of a gap opened up on the initiation. Jack O'Farrell not quite having the proximity that Joe Vala did. Vala, though, running down a beautiful line, coming into the inside clip. And oh, yes, as Alex said, Jack O'Farrell throwing down a really nice dive and putting on the pressure through this section. This is where Vala didn't have quite as much proximity, so this might be a bit of a trade-off here, but Vala, beautiful transition into that last section of the course, but O'Farrell is not backing down. This is going to be a close one, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't know. I really do not know.
Alex is speechless, but here we go. You get to see it again. Joe Vala right up on the door of Jack O'Farrell. Super impressive to see. Maybe a bit of a beeline from Jack O'Farrell, but not bad, not fantastic, but not bad for sure. That R32, a little bit less angle than we might like to see here as he comes around that outside zone 6. Transitioning into 7. Vala, this is where he seems to lose a little bit of ground as he doesn't quite have the same acceleration that R32 does, but he was still sticking with him. Now transitioning over to this second run here, you can see Vala pulling quite a bit of a gap as he sends it in. Big initiation right there on that A line with Jack O'Farrell, just not quite having the same proximity. He was trying to get up onto the door of this 240, and Joe Vala gets out there nice and wide up towards 6, and here's where O'Farrell starts to shine. He gets right up onto that front wheel of that 240, and they transition here coming into clip 8 and 9, and finishing out fantastic are both of these drivers. So definitely some trade-offs, some goods, some bads from both of these guys, but let's see. Swipe him left for Jack O'Farrell, swipe him right for Joe Vala. Let's see how it goes. Rise, Arctics, and Tyre, your beautiful judges for today. Make sure to give them a round of applause in your homes here for their dedication to making sure that we get good calls. And that's, again, not unanimous, but our Rise and Arctics siding with Joe Vala, which means Joe Vala is going to be moving on to top 16. It's going to be very awesome for that rookie there trying to make his way into the series. So after that battle now, we'll cut to some ads as we load into our next drivers. So ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned because it only is going to get more exciting.
See you guys, bit.
on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
And we are back for the second half of the top 32. And here we have Vitaly Iciev versus Danny. So this is going to be a very interesting battle here. Danny being a bit of a rookie and Vitaly Iciev being a veteran in this scene. So we'll be waiting for them to get sent off by Rice in the start gun. So, and here we go. So we have a very interesting second half here. It's going to be a lot of heavy hitters. And I'm very excited for it, as we have a lot like Marcel Studzinski, Danielis Parangas, and Cameron Mustard and Anthony Taylor all being people that have won events here at Driftland. So let's see, here we go. Vitaly Iciev getting a bit of a jump there. Danny getting side by side with him. Getting a bit of a gap hold there for a big angle by Danny. Vitaly Iciev on that nice and dark line. Danny diving in before the transition. Can he keep it? And yes, he does. Dropping a couple of tyres, stalling up there. But Vitaly Iciev doing a very nice job on that lead line. But Danny just getting choked up on the inside line and just not really doing that well of a job. But Vitaly Iciev keeping it on a nice line, doing what he needs to do. And we'll take him around and switch their positions. Obviously, you can see Vitaly Iciev very dialed in the A80 Supra, but for Vitaly, it's just another competition. But for Danny, it is a big moment, as he has to face one of the best drivers in the series. So he's going to have to push hard for this one if he wants to win. And we'll wait for the 3, 2, 1. Here we go, the red and green. So here we go, Danny in the lead, Vitaly Iciev in the chase. And side by side, Vitaly Iciev, here we go, big flick initiation from Danny. Vitaly Iciev right there, diving in onto his door. Vitaly just not leaving any room. But Danny on that dialed lead line, coming up the hill, very nice there. Letting off the angle, throwing it into this big outer. For Vitaly Iciev just staying there, not letting him breathe and make a mistake, just massaging his door across the line. And that will be that for the battle. So if we'll probably get better view from here, we'll see if any other mistakes happen. So very nice entry there from Vitaly Iciev. Danny a bit inside, missing nearly every clip on the first corner, but diving in, dropping 2 tyres on the inside there, but I don't think that's going to be too big of a deduction. As a chase, it might be allowed to do that. Vitaly Iciev still on the outside, but Danny's just having a bit too much forward bite in that car, diving forward and just getting choked up, having to pull the handbrake and then straightening out. And here we go, we have a decision. Swipe him left for Vitaly, swipe him right for Danny. and Rise, Artix, and Turhi will decide for Taliesin for the win. It is unanimous decision. So we'll be moving on to the next battle, which is Anx 141 versus Brendan Stacy.
This is going to be an interesting battle. Ang, a fantastic driver, and Brendan Stacy. Oh, and I'm getting word that Brendan Stacy might not actually be here, which is unfortunate. He'll miss out on his opportunity to go up against Angst 141, which means that Angst will be getting a buy run here in his S14.9. So we'll sit back and let you guys enjoy this thing, take a rip around the track here, and enjoy these beautiful engine sounds. This is S14.9 of Angst sends it around the course.
Ooh, big Maggie. This line, A-line through there, maybe dropping a tyre through there, but this isn't really a judged run, so we'll leave him alone for now. But left foot braking, make sure you produce as much smoke as possible, just showing the fans what he's made of, doing a very dialed line through here, and just overall doing a nice run through his buy run. So he'll be moving on to our top 16 against Vitaly Isiev. And next battle we'll be having Marcel Studzinski versus James Young, which is going to be very interesting.
Marcel Studzinski and James Young, both of these drivers, very fantastic drivers. They're very similar in qualifying, so it's going to be interesting to see how these guys handle it. Marcel Studzinski up there in the lead position, James Young in the chase. Both drivers definitely proving themselves to be formidable opponents. So I for one cannot wait to see this battle. So here we go. Marcel and James ready to send it here. See the lights go red, the lights will go green, and we'll see Marcel Studzinski take the lead. Here we go.
Yeah, that white and black Supra, white on one side, black on the other, very beautiful looking car.
Here we go, the green light hits and Marcel Studzinski comes out of that start chicane. James Young going to be chasing him in here. Here we go, Marcel Studzinski, big initiation, getting nice and deep in that first outside zone. Look at that, a little bit of contact it looks like from James Young, but hey, you know what, it didn't really mess with anybody. So they're getting up onto the door here. James Young pushing the proximity on, being aggressive, but ooh, getting left in the dust a little bit by Marcel Studzinski. As Marcel throws down a really good line to the clip 7 and 8. Transitioning here, James Young puts a lunge up onto the door and it sticks. Nicely done. The last section of that course.
Yeah, James Young doing everything he can, as he knows Marcel is a brilliant chase driver. So we'll see what happens here. Marcel gonna have to push onto that door, but James Young showing people who he is and what he can do, except from being a real life driver. You know, James Young coming from real life and going, you know what, let's have a bit of fun in the sim. And here he is.
Alrighty, James Young, well, going to be in the lead position. He's going to be there, and Marcel Studzinski in the chase. Here we go, coming out of the start chicane. James Young in that 880 Supra. Marcel Studzinski in the chase here in his S15, ready to flick it in. James Young lighting off those tires nice and early, deep in that first outside zone. But oh, Marcel Studzinski drops tires. And it looks like he's going to shut it down. Either that or it's going to be a restart. It might be because James Young hit the cones on the way out, and it looks like that is going to be the case. So James Young going to come back around and line back up for the lead position. Very lucky there
for Marcel.
Very, very lucky for Marcel. But hey, you know what? We love to see a clean battle. So getting 100%. To see them rerun it here is going to be awesome. Alrighty, and here we go. The lights go red, the lights go green, and here we go. James Young to lead in. Marcel Studzinski. James Young coming out of that start chicane, firing down the straight, lighting off those tires nice and early. He's going to flick initiation. Nicely done. A little bit of a handbrake drag. Marcel falling back just a little bit, but putting the pressure back on through outside clip 3, transitioning into 4 and 5. Look at that, Marcel right there on the door of that 880 Supra. Look at that, pushing on the proximity. James Young having that hood open, showing us that 2JZ power. Here we go. Into outside clip 9. Ooh, little bit of a correction there from James Young, but Marcel Studzinski taking it in his stride. They're going to be sending it for sure. Look at that, beautiful job from both of these guys, and can't wait to see what the judges think. Yeah,
100%. I do. I do think we already have a decision here. So we're going to be going to the judges' screen. Swipe him left for Marcel Studzinski. Swipe him right for James Young. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and Marcel Studzinski gets the win by unanimous decision, and he'll be moving on to the top 16. Sadly, James Young will have to pack his stuff back on the trailer. And yeah, we'll be moving on to the next battle, which is another interesting battle. We're not falling short of them. We've got Kristaps Rasa versus Justin Philippa, which is going to be a very interesting battle here because and I got word that it might be another buy run here, so we'll have to see who turns up. And it looks like Rasa is there, but it looks like we have no Justin Philippa, so we're gonna have to send Rasa on a buy run, I'm pretty sure.
Alrighty, well, enjoy the sounds of this beautiful Toyota A90 Supra as Kristaps Rasa gets a buy run into the top 16 and we're moving on. Here we go, sending it in, nicely done.
Here we go, can we get a 360 from Rasa? You know.
And a beautiful run from Kristaps Rasa as he sends it around that course and throwing out a little 360 at the end there for maximum style points. And next up, we'll have Danielis Paragauskas versus Vsevlad Vsevlad. All right, listen.
Vsevlad Sambolenko.
My boy is like, I can't tell if Vsevlad or cephalopod. Like
Vsevlad Sambolenko. So,
all
there we
right.
go.
Well, how about you commentate for this one, because clearly I can't pronounce the name worth for crap.
So here we go. You can see the rest of the bracket, the rest of the battles we have left. So in the last group we have Danielis Paragauskas and then Vsevlad Sambolenko. And then we have Kieran Bond versus Lynon Tornkvest and Anthony Taylor versus Jackson Lay. And then for the final battle of the top 32, we have a battle of Cameron Mustard versus Peter Belarado, which I'm going to be very excited for because they've been talking a lot in these chats, you know, Belarado trying to get in Cameron Mustard's head, so everyone hold a high standard for Belarado here, because for all the stuff he's been talking, I think he should perform good, you know, just putting a bit of pressure on Belarado, as I know he's watching right now, but he knows it's all good fun. And yes, but here we go, Daniel is pulling up to the line with Vsevlad Sambolenko in that chase line, so we'll be
alrighty. Well, here we go. Danielis Paragauskas, Vsevlad Sambolenko. They're gonna get ready to send him here. Danielis and Vsevlad. Alrighty, getting ready to send these guys here. We'll get the lights going here in a moment. Danielis gonna lead in that A90 Supra of Vsevlad. And here we go. And here we go, Danielis Paragauskas in the lead position in that F22 BMW with Vsevlad in that A90 Supra. Big initiation there from Danielis. Vsevlad not quite having the proximity that he needs to have, but coming into this outside clip. Ooh, Vsevlad going one. Oh, it's going to be a restart.
Yeah. I don't wonder why that is, but it looks like we'll get to see that entry one more time.
And hopefully it's a little bit of a warning sign to Vsevlad that he might need to be just a little bit faster coming up to that initiation. So here we go, out of the start chicane here, Danielis and Vsevlad here. Vsevlad in that A90 C, we're going to be trying to follow in that F22. Pulling a gap though as Danielis here, as he sends it in. And Vsevlad goes off the course. Oh man, that is unfortunate. He's gone up the dirt bank, the one that claims cars and rolls them over, as we saw from that E30 a couple of years ago. Does anybody remember that? I feel like everybody remembers that one here, but Daniela's finishing out a run and putting that score on the board, and that's going to be a pretty big advantage going into that second run here.
Yeah, maybe Vasevolod putting too much grip into that car and just understeering off into the bank. It just doesn't look good for him, but you know, with the magic of a setter, his car's completely fine and he's back at the start line.
Absolutely, but here we go. Vasevolod going to be in the lead position with Danielis in the chase. That F22 to chase in that A90 Supra. We'll see the lights go red and they'll go green, and we'll take off here, sending Vasevolod in the lead position. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and green for go. Here we go. Vasevolod in the lead position, A90 Supra. Daniela's going to be in the chase, going to try and stick it to the door of that A90 Supra. He does know that he's got an advantage, I imagine, here. If he's got a spotter, he's talking in his ear, telling him that, hey, listen, you got an advantage. Buddy went off the course behind you. And here we go. Look at that. Beautiful job transitioning with him, sticking to the door of that A90 Supra. Daniela's putting on the pressure. A little bit of a correction. Quite a bit of angle from Vasevolod. Daniela's getting a little bit caught off guard by it, but sticks with him and stays up on the door of that A90 Supra. A beautiful job in the chase position. Quite a bit of mistakes from Vasevolod. We'll have to see what the judges think about it to be sure. And here we go, Alex. Look at this look at this replay and tell us what you think.
Yeah, it's just your casual Driftland things, you know. Someone throwing it in a bit too hard, trying to keep up with someone, because you can see him pulling away here and then him having more speed, entering later, and then look how much more speed he has. Just throws himself off into that bank. Very lucky there that he did not flip or break any suspension. But here we go, Daniels Paragauskas doing a beautiful lead line, showing us how it is done with that 100-point looking lead line. But here we go, swipe him left for Danielis Paragauskas and swipe him right for Vasevolod to Sambolenko. And there we go.
It's going to be unanimous. Rise, Arctics, and Tyre all siding with Danielis Paragauskas, who is going to be moving on to our top 16. Next up, our next battle is Kieran Bond and Linus Tornkvest. Kieran Bond in that lead position. I think this is the battle of the A80 Supras.
It's a very expensive battle,
right?
Both
very
of these
expensive
cars.
Battle between two of these A80 Supras. It's gonna be super sick to see them go around the course together, though. Kieran Bond and Linus Tornkvest. Right, I just said it here. Rise will get him going here in a moment. He's controlling that the light tree there. You'll see them go red. It'll go green. You'll send it, and you can see lining up behind them there. There's Anthony Taylor and Jackson Lay. Anthony, I guess, decided that his motor needs a bit of a cool air here as they the drivers in front of him take off. He's gonna try and cool that motor down.
Just BMW things.
Anthony, if you're listening, give that hood a flap. That'd be funny. But here we go. Kieran Bond in the lead position, Linus in the chase position, an all Supra battle. Initiating nicely done by Kieran Bond as he goes deep into that first outside zone and into the second. But look at that, Linus not backing down whatsoever, sticking with him, putting that, whoa, look at that transition.
Oh my God.
Super aggressive with the lunge, gets right up onto the door, coming into outside zone 6. Look at this now. Kieran Bond not giving him an inch, not letting him take a mile. Here we go. Look at this beautiful job into that outside zone 9 and finishing out the run strong. Kieran Bond and Linus Tornkvest, both of these guys absolutely sending it. These two Supras definitely very evenly matched. It's going to be really awesome to see how they do on the second half of the battle. At this point, I think there's no difference between the cars. I think at this point, it's gonna be all up to the drivers to see who takes home the win on this one. So, Kieran Bond now in the chase position, Linus in the lead. Here we go. Linus to lead him in here. Linus in that A80 Supra. Kieran Bond in the chase position. Linus setting it in. Kieran Bond right up on the door once again here. We love to see the aggression. Kieran not quite matching the angle, but getting right up onto the door. Ooh, cutting the course quite a bit. But hey, you know what? It got him right up onto the door of Linus Tornkvest. Tornkvest looking really good here into these outside clips, into outside clip 8 and 9. Ooh, Kieran Bond taking a massive risk, lunging up onto the front wheel, not quite hitting it, thank goodness. Definitely very aggressive I think right now we're kind of seeing a battle between aggression and smoothness. You've got Tornkvist throwing down textbook leads and chases, but not quite as aggressive, whereas Kieran Ball might not have been the cleanest, but he was definitely throwing those big Hail Marys and getting right up onto the side of
Yeah,
him.
the big
Ooh,
contact
a little
there.
bit of contact there
Yeah.
from Linus Tornkvist.
Yeah, I thought so. I did think so, but I wasn't going to say it, but it does look like it. So, judge is going to have to figure that one out.
Definitely could be a factor here in the judges as they're looking at these runs here. See how these go. Look at this. Kieran Bond right on the back door of
Yeah,
that
that was just
other 880
textbook.
Supra. Absolutely fantastic chasing him in. He does cut the course a little bit there, though. That's going to be a mistake on his side just because it was quite a bit of a cut here.
It is allowed in the chase. I did hear in the driver's briefing that drivers are allowed to go past that cone in the chase as long as they have proximity.
It was, however, it was stated, I believe, in the drivers' meeting that they didn't want to go super tight when cutting it. So I don't know. It'll definitely be up to the judge's discretion to see if that was a little bit too much or not. But hey, otherwise, I mean, these were really fantastic runs. You can see Linus Tornkvist also cutting that cone. So who knows? Maybe this will be definitely an even battle for sure.
Yeah, and we have a decision for these two. So we'll get it onto the judge's screen. So swipe him left for Kieran Bond, swipe him right for Linus Tornkvist. And here we go. One more time. And 2 for Linus, so not unanimous, but Linus gets the win. And it looks like they put fault to Kieran for that there.
That is unfortunate for Kieran Bond, but definitely put up one hell of a fight. Gotta go home remembering that you did put up one hell of a fight, Kieran Bond. But unfortunately, just edging him out is Linus Tornkvist and his A80 Supra, as they're both chilling there in A80 Supra.
Yeah,
so Linus takes the win on that one. And
another interesting battle next is Anthony Taylor versus Jackson Lay.
Oh, I've been waiting for this battle all day. Anthony Taylor has been on a heater. Held, not quite top qualifier yesterday, but held on to it for quite a while. And did a pretty fantastic job. And Jackson Lay also doing a pretty decent job. That GR86, quite quick, proving to be quite nimble around this course. So it'll be interesting to see how it keeps up with that massive V8 powered E92, that Zone 1 car of Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, him recently becoming a virtual driver of Olsen. So he's very happy to.
Oh, waving at us, the commentators, with his trunk. That was fun.
Yeah, you know, it's just BMW issues. Sometimes they pop open because of the electrics, you know. I think. But here we go. We have Jackson Lay in that chase position. We haven't seen him much here, but we do know that he can put on a fight. So can he take down Anthony Taylor, one of the top drivers from last series?
All right, and the lights go green. Anthony Taylor's going to take off in that Zone 1 BMW E92 with that AOM GR86 following him in of Jackson Lay. Here we go. Big initiation from Anthony Taylor. Nice and deep on that wide line. Look at that. Jackson Lay, a little bit of a correction, but keeping that proximity tight and close, transitioning right up onto the door of that Zone 1 E92. It's Anthony Taylor throwing down a textbook lead line, but hey, look at this. Jackson Lay not backing down, getting up onto the door of that E92. Quite a big mistake there from Jackson Lay, hesitating on the transition and causing him to go a little bit shallow here as Anthony Taylor walks away with what might be a bit of an advantage for sure. They're going to come back down here and they're going to flip their cars around and they're going to go for that second run. Anthony Taylor now going to be in that chase position with Jackson Lay in the chase. This is going to be interesting.
And you know what? That E92 is very fast. I was driving in the practice service with it. And it is very fast for an E92. I've never seen an E92 be so fast. So I think that Anthony Taylor here is going to have a bit of a chance with Jackson Lay. It's just that one mistake might have left a bit too much, but we'll see in the second half here. Waiting for Rise to. There we go. Goes red.
Here we go. Anthony Taylor going to be chasing in Jackson Lay here. That Zone 1 performance. E92 going to be chasing that AOM GR86. Look at that, lunging right up onto the door, sticking with him. Look at that. Jackson Lay doing a fantastic job in the lead position. Anthony Taylor not leaving anything to chance, putting it right up on the door. Let's see if he keeps up with that GR86. Ooh, falling back just a little bit, but manages to find the proximity once again, coming through outside zone 6. Transitioning here, Jackson Lay. This is the trouble area that we had last time, and Anthony Taylor doesn't make the same mistake. Even just taps him just a little bit, letting him know, knock, knock, I'm still here. I'm right here with you in that E92. Absolutely fantastic run from both of these drivers. Here we go. We get to take a look at this once more and with a bit clearer view. We'll see at the end of the run is what we're going to be taking a look at here with Jackson Lay. He did make a mistake there at the end, and we want to see if it was Anthony Taylor's fault or if it was all on Jackson Lay. So here we go. Look at that. Beautiful job for proximity through this section of the course, but let's see if he was coming in a little bit too fast. Ooh, understeers a little bit, possibly a bit of contact, and that seemed just to be what caused the late transition there.
Yeah, and they both have a little Anthony is a bit of a less mistake with that little tap. The tap might have been like a tiny bit too much, pushing Jackson one wheel off, but Jackson doing that massive mistake on that last corner, I think it might be a bit more obvious there.
Absolutely. Here, Anthony Taylor doing a fantastic job of the chase, and watch this transition, sending it in, tapping the door just a little bit, but Jackson actually stays on the course, it looks like.
To be honest, Anthony pushed him onto the right line. If we're looking at it, because like if Jackson was on the right line, that would have pushed him off the track, but no, it pushed him onto that perfect A line and it kept him going. So Anthony Taylor doing Jackson Lay a bit of a favor there, maybe. But here
Alrighty, well, we should have a decision from the judges here any moment. Look at this, Anthony Taylor doing a fantastic job in that lead position.
Judges taking their while doing this, but you know, they're judges. They have to have their arguments and do what they have to do.
Absolutely, and definitely not leaving a lot on the table are both of these drivers. Judges going to be looking at it, splitting hairs, and try to figure out who will move on to that top 16. Anthony Taylor definitely doing a fantastic job in that Zone 1 E92, but Jackson Lay is no slouch in that GR86. But right here, once again, this is going to be the point of contention, was that little bit of contact from Jackson Lay, and then also straightening out just a little bit in that transition, losing a bit of ground there. So this is going to be what we're taking a look at. And once again, you can see Anthony Taylor with those flashers on the front of the car. It was kind of I actually got a chance to talk to him yesterday. Apparently those aren't flashers. He's not sure what's doing that on the front of the car, but he says it looks cool and he doesn't care. So they may not actually be flashers, but hey, he's flashing. Oh, avert your eyes, children. He's flashing the camera.
Oh, Austin.
Listen, all right, gotta keep it entertaining.
That might have been the, like, if we had a SVDS worst commentary moments, that might have been the top. You know?
Listen, all right, leave me alone. I'm not Jared Deenda, all right?
Yeah, I know you're much better, but still, come on. Wow, but you know, but judges taking. Oh, well, it looks like maybe we have a decision. Yep. We have a decision.
We have a decision. We're going to move it over to this screen here, and we're going to see swipe him left for Anthony Taylor and swipe him right for Jackson Lay.
Going to be a bit controversial, I think, here.
It's going to be a split decision, but we do have a majority is going to rule one more time. So it looks like we're going to have Anthony Taylor and Jackson Lay go up at it again. Looks like maybe the mistakes evened out a little bit. They might have thought that Anthony Taylor might have been at fault for some, and Jackson Lay might have been at fault for some. Either way, we got some OMTs, which means that Anthony Taylor and Jackson Lay go for it again. Gives Jackson Lay a chance to clean it up, and same with Anthony Taylor. So here we go. We're lining them up again, and Rise will send those lights, and we'll get all these guys going here.
Yeah, I think the judges just wanted to see a bit more, even though Anthony Taylor might have had a bit of a ahead, but you know, if one more time gives them both a chance to clean it up. So here we go.
Alrighty, here we go. Lights go green. Anthony Taylor in that lead position now with Jackson Lay in the chase here. That GR86 going to be falling in that E92. Look at that initiation. A fantastic showing from Anthony Taylor. Definitely sending it here around this inside clip with Jackson Lay losing a bit of ground now. You can see him losing a bit of that ground like he didn't before, but going into this section, this is the part he wants to clean up, transitioning. Look at that, sticking it right to the door of Anthony Taylor, but sending it in is Anthony Taylor. A beautiful job in that lead position. A fantastic job from both of these guys. Definitely a much cleaner run, so now there's less of a discrepancy. So now it'll be out in terms of how this job battle is going to go. It might be a little bit more based on the driving than the mistakes this time. So here's hoping this battle goes well. Jackson Lay going to be taking the lead position now away from Anthony Taylor. Anthony going to be moving into the chase position now and see if he can put up a fight.
Yeah, here we go. Anthony Taylor in that chase position.
Alrighty. Jackson Lay ready to send it in here in that GR Corolla. Big initiation with Anthony Taylor right up on the side of him, putting the pressure on here as he massages it through. Bit of a tire drop there from Jackson Lay as he goes a little bit wide there. Around the inside clip, Anthony Taylor following in, and there we go, putting that pressure on, losing a tiny bit of ground, but keeps the pressure on through that. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Anthony Taylor falls back. Jackson Lay keeping the run going, coming into clip 9. This is going to be another bit of contact to look at. Let's see. We'll have to get a look at that drone shot. I mean, could have been a slowdown from Jackson Lay, but it also could have been Anthony Taylor just being a bit too aggressive. So it'll definitely be up to the judges, but let's get a replay going and we'll see if we can give you guys some insight and try and make an informed guess. Here we go. Look at that. There you see the tire drops from Jackson Lay as they come into these this transition here. Anthony Taylor putting the pressure on and Jackson pushing up towards here. And then look at this. Angles up and there's the contact. It looks like Jackson Lay might have had a tire off the course there before the contact. So who knows? The judges will be looking at that quite intently and trying to figure out who was that contact, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the deciding factor of this battle, because otherwise these runs were pretty flawless.
Yeah, it looks like they do have a decision.
Alrighty, which means we're going to be taking it over to the judges screen. Here we go. Swipe him left for Anthony Taylor and swipe him right for Jackson Lay. That's 1, 2, 3, and unanimously Anthony Taylor in that zone 1 E92 is going to get to move on to the top 16. It looks like they did fault Jackson Lay for that contact, which means that Anthony Taylor gets to move on, and we all get to move on to Cameron Mustard and Peter Belarado. This is going to be interesting. It's an all R32 battle. We had the Supra battle earlier. This is the all R32 battle. We got that Jap Speed performance, R32 of Cameron Mustard, and I believe that Advan livery to R32 of Peter Belarado. So this is going to be really awesome to see. 2 RB powered monsters ready to take down the track. I mean, hey, listen, we pay a lot of money to get these tracks built, all right? We don't need no Godzilla coming in and wrecking everything, all right? So let's keep it within the lines, and let's send a clean battle, all right? Let's not try and eat anybody. Cameron Mustard, Peter Belarado, ready to send it for their runs here. The light tree will go red, then it'll go green, and these guys will send it. That Jap Speed R32 looking sick, with that Advan R32 of Peter Belarado looking really solid as well. Here we go, out of the start chicane here is Cameron Mustard and that R32. Also being followed by an R32. Big initiation here. Look at that big send. Peter Belarado, though, not giving him any room, putting it right up on for nice big proximity transitioning here, getting right up onto the side of Cameron Mustard. As Cameron Mustard goes out of the lead line, but look at this. Belarado not backing down, putting on the pressure. Absolutely phenomenal showing from Peter Belarado, proving us wrong from yesterday.
Oh, there we go.
Nice and deep, right on the door. Cameron Mustard has got his work cut out for him. Peter Belarado, definitely a fantastic showing. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, Peter doing the best he can there against Cameron Mustard, but we all know Cameron Mustard, and we all know that there's going to be a lot of pushing here. We know exactly what's about to happen, but you know, Cameron has his off days and on days, so we don't know.
Alrighty, well, we'll get him sent here. That's 1, 2, 3, and green for go here as Cameron Mustard will be chasing in Peter Belarado. These R32s going to go head-to-head here. Big full lick initiation from Peter Belarado, setting it in nice and deep into these first outside zones. Cameron Mustard right with him, though, angling up as Peter Belarado, causing him to take that C-line on that outside clip 3 into this inside clip. Nice and deep here, but Cameron Mustard right on that back corner, putting on the pressure through this section of the course. Cameron Mustard knows he's got to pull a rabbit out of here. Look at this right there. That lunge was crazy. Wow. Alex, what are your...
I think it could go to one more time. I do really think it could go one more time. Very equal run from these two guys. You can see Cameron Mustard, nice lead line. Belarado on the door. Same as, it's literally like 2 runs were repeated together. You can see coming through here, perfect. Belarado going through that inside clip, but that's no biggie. Coming up the hill. Bit of left foot brake from Cameron Mustard, angle the car up. Belarado pushing, just keeping that perfect proximity the whole track around, but Cameron Mustard just putting down a solid lead line. And then we'll see the other half.
Showing. And this is definitely attributing to the fact that you can't judge people off of their qualifying runs. Again, qualifying is a mountain that a lot of drivers have to climb, and sometimes some drivers definitely struggle with that climb. But once you get to the top, you get to come right back down and have that easy ride through battles and get to actually do some driving that you're used to. So qualifying definitely stressful and can sometimes lead to some lesser scores from really good drivers, and Peter Belarado is definitely a proof of that for sure.
Yeah, so you can see here, same proximity through here, if I'm being very honest. Oh, Peter.
Right there, like I said, Peter taking the C line.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, and Cameron Mustard having a bit better proximity through here, but Peter basically matching the line of Cameron Mustard. Coming through here, Cameron... Oh my god, that transition. Very nice through there.
Bumper to bumper transitions. We love to see it again. Peter Belarado definitely proving that a qualifying score does not make the driver, as he is out here pushing for inches.
We have a decision.
We have a decision.
Yep.
Alrighty, Alex, take it away.
Yep, so the judging screen will pop up on the screen. Swipe him left for Cameron Mustard, and swipe him right for Peter Belarado. Here we go. What's going to happen? Oh, taking its time. Wait. Oh, one. Oh, it's not.
Ooh.
But Cameron Mustard gets the win, and it looks like Peter Belarado will be putting his stuff back on the trailer. Cameron Mustard will be advancing on to the top 16.
Absolutely phenomenal battle. Yeah, fantastic battle. Peter Belarado coming out here and showing us that he's got the stuff, and definitely as long as he refines his technique a little bit, he should be one hell of an opponent. But Cameron Mustard so far coming out with that win and moving on to the top 16, which means here, Alex, you can read out our top 16 before we cut to commercial.
Yeah, so first battle, oh my god. Anestas Kubulas versus Simon Sandman.
That's a finals battle happening in the top 16.
That's a final battle. Adam Hardman versus William Holloway, another great battle. Daniel Andreev versus Seth Miller. Mark O'Rourke versus Joe Vala. Vitaly Isiev versus Anks, who had a buy run. Marcel Studzinski versus Kristaps Rasa. Danielis Paragauskas versus Linus Tornkvest. And oh my god, another battle that's like a final. Anthony Taylor versus Cameron Mustard.
Yeah, wow. This is going to be one hell of a bracket, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay tuned because top 16 starts just after this commercial break. See you guys soon.
Skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya.
skate girl tonight.
Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Foreign cars, I make
escape, girl, tonight.
Sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I
skate girl tonight.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through that ad break. We are ready to send our top 16 drivers, and hey, we have one hell of a first battle for our top 16 to bring you guys back, wake you guys up from that ad break. Ernestus Kubulas versus the sensational Simon Sandman, ready to take on whatever this track throws their way. So Ernestus Kubulas in that beautiful S14 with Simon Sandman in his S15, ready to chase him down. So here's our bracket here to start off the top 16. We have these two. We have Ernestus Kubulas, we have Simon Sandman, then we move on to Adam Hardman and William Holloway. We come down to Daniel Andreev and Seth Miller and Mark O'Rourke versus Joe Vala for the first half of our top 16. Moving on here, we're going to get Ernestus Kubulas and the sensational Simon Sandman ready to send it here. Rise will give them the go-ahead at any moment here, and you'll see the red lights come on and the green light signal them to take off.
You already know this is going to be an absolutely insane battle.
And here we go, the lights go green. Ernestus Kubulas takes off with Simon Sandman in the chase position, that S15, ready to follow with that S14 here. Big initiation from Ernestus Kubulas. Simon Sandman lunging in, taking a bit of a shallower line, trying to find the proximity. Does quite have it here. The transitions bumper to bumper. Going into this inside clip. Simon Sandman trying not to lose an inch of ground on Ernestus Kubulas here. Look at this beautiful job from Simon Sandman in that chase position with Ernestus just sending down a fantastic textbook lead line. What a battle so far. Ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't already awake after that ad break, you are now. Simon Sandman, beautiful job in the chase position versus Ernestus Kubulas, who did a fantastic job in the lead position. So here we go. We're going to switch them up. We're going to get them going. Ernestus Kubulas now in the chase position. ready to follow in the S15 of Simon Sandman.
Yeah.
Rise hasn't yet reset the lights, so he's going to do that here in just a moment. And here we go, 1, 2, 3, and green for go. Simon Sandman in the lead position. That sensational performance in the chase position, giving momentum into the lead. Here we go. Big initiation here from Simon Sandman, but Ernestas right up on the door. Look at that proximity, wheel to wheel. Almost contact there as they transition through here. Simon Sandman looking really solid in that position, but Ernestas just not giving him any bit of room, not whatsoever. No inch, no mile. Simon Sandman, though, running down a beautiful lead line. Ernestas just so aggressive through the last section of the course. What a battle. Sandman throwing down a beautiful little 360 at the end for the style points. Oh, they're going to do some rings, lads. Look at this right here. Beautiful job. These guys, look at this. We're gonna get the Dials FPV as Alex is gonna explain to you how this battle is going so far.
Yeah, so here we go. Simon Sandman on the door, doing the best he can, maybe cutting the track a bit there, but bumper to bumper transition, diving a bit too inside there, but getting back on the door, doing an amazing lead line from Ernestas there. But Simon Sandman just not letting go, maybe dropping the tire from Ernestas there, coming around that big sweeper, but out the last corner. Simon Sandman was absolutely on the door. The second half here, you can see big flick from Simon on the wall, but Ernestas is not leaving one bit of room, and just on that bumper in the transition, dives back in, stays on the same line as Simon Sandman coming up this hill, just absolutely rubbing him up and down coming around this run. Simon Sandman with a sensational lead run as usual, but Ernestas maybe doing a better job in that lead lane, the chase lane.
And with that colorful choice of words, talking about rubbing up and down, Alex is concluding his time commentating with me, because I don't think I'll ever accept him saying something like that again. But Adam, but this is, let's take it to the judges here, see who's going to get the win here. Ernestas Kubulas or Simon Sandman. Swipe him left for Ernestas and swipe him right for Sandman. And here we go. That's 1, 2, 3. Ernestas gets the win by overwhelming majority. And unfortunately, Simon Sandman will be packing his stuff up onto the trailer. And we'll be taking off here. Unfortunately, for the sensational Simon Sandman, his weekend ends just a little bit early, but still a fantastic performance from him. Next up, we have our battle with Adam Hardman versus William Holloway. Alex, what are you thinking about this one? What are your predictions?
Well, literally everyday S chassis versus a fire breathing RX-7. That is about it. But here we go. You're gonna be waiting for these two to get off the line.
Adam Hardman in the lead position, William Holloway in the chase here. This is gonna be interesting for sure. We'll see those lights go red, it'll go green, and that'll signal the drivers it's time to take off. Alrighty, here we go.
William getting that jump there, he's trying to stay far back so he can get door to door already on the initiation, so it's a big asset there. You gotta really jump that start line if you really want to be side by side or have a good grip of the car going up that hill. So we'll be waiting for Rizzle to put that start line on, and there we go.
And here we go. Green means go as Adam Hardman takes the lead position and William Holloway to chase him in. Oh, and it's going to be a restart.
The rotary has issues. I mean, it's going to be a restart.
I don't think it was the rotary. I think Adam Hardman just tapped the cones on the way out of that start chicane. We want to make sure that we get a clean start for both of our drivers. So
I will always find a way to make fun of the rotary, because it's just fun and games.
Such is the law of the jungle.
Yeah, it's just, you have to, you know? It's just...
Right, but hey, as much as we make fun of rotaries, it is awesome to see them prove us wrong. So let's see if William Holloway can do just that. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, and green means go. Adam Hardman hopefully getting clean out of the cones this time. William Holloway going to be sticking with him in that RX-7 FD here. That 4-rotor fire-breathing powered car going to send it in behind Adam Hardman. Look at that big initiation. William Holloway a little bit hesitant, but gets up onto the door. Losing a bit of angle there is William Holloway, but keeps it clean, keeps it going here, getting up onto the door of Adam Hardman. Adam Hardman doing a beautiful job in that lead position, trying to keep it up on that wide line. William Holloway settling in and set it and forget it as he lunges up onto the door of Adam Hardman, loses a bit of that proximity towards the end of that zone, but finishing out the run strong. That RX-7 definitely proving to be a fantastic chassis for William Holloway, but will it be enough to beat Adam Hardman, who put down a pretty solid lead line in front of him?
Yeah, 100%. And we'll be waiting to see what happens here.
Alrighty, William Holloway in the lead position now. Adam Hardman going to be in the chase. And here we go. William Holloway in that fire-breathing RX-7 FD going to send it down the straightaway here. Adam Hardman going to try and initiate right with him. Here we go. Big initiation. Nicely down. William Holloway sending it in wide. A little bit of understeer, but Adam Hardman right with him. Look at this transition here. Nicely done in that next outside zone. William Holloway throwing out a textbook lead line with Hardman losing a bit of ground through this sector of the course. We're getting right back up onto the door through this next section here with William Holloway throwing out a beautiful lead line as he pulls away here just for a second. And looks really good there. Adam Hardman making a little bit of mistakes, but looking very solid in the chase as well. William Holloway letting that rotary sing for a bit here. There we go. Alex will break it down for you here.
Yes, he got a very nice lead line from Adam there coming around the first. And William basically nearly straight there, as you can see from the replay. Coming up the hill, Adam Hardman doing the best he can to get some speed in that S15, but William is just not backing off, tapping that door ever so slightly and going to the transition, and William's just back there, and you know, it's a lot hard to come back from. So here we go, second half. William throwing it in. Adam Hardman in the chase. William sort of struggling there as well as Adam Hardman. They both understeered, but it sort of played out for Adam Hardman as he was sort of imitating William there. But coming around here, it's about the same proximity. A bit of a door tap there. Coming back round on the door again from Adam Hardman. And a very nice run from these two guys.
Definitely a battle of attrition. Both of these guys making a couple of mistakes in their runs, but also having some shining moments. So it'll be interesting to see how the judges handle it. Definitely not a straight in there from William Holloway, but definitely losing quite a bit of angle where he could have had a bit more, possibly just a bit of a mistake there, a hesitation from William Holloway. But we'll take you to the judges here in just a moment. Hopefully we get a decision soon. William Holloway looking pretty solid in that RX-7, but definitely leaving a couple of points up on the table. Same with Adam Hardman, who does a fantastic lead line, but definitely has a couple of mistakes in the chase as well. So interesting to see what we come up with here. I'm excited to see what the judges decide who will be going up against Ernestus Kubulas in the top 8.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, judges finding little bits and little things to see who got the win there. It's going to be a very hard decision for these guys as they're picking the runs apart. But we'll be seeing what they think any second now. But yeah, still waiting for the decision from these guys as their job is quite hard.
For sure, I do not envy the judges in any of these situations. They have a lot of the hardest choices to make. A lot of the most difficult decisions of the days end up going to the judges because they have to decide, you know, who takes the win. And you know, sometimes they're loved for it, sometimes they're hated for it, but they take their job in stride and they do a fantastic job.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, they do have to take their time with these things. Like, if you rush it, you're going to miss some things and you could have a very angry driver after you. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Very nice. You see the replays here of that run. Adam Hardman just getting pushed away from William there. And William just pulling on that in that RX-7. But Adam Hardman, big dive there from him. Just trying to get on that right line. It looks like he was deeper than William there, nearly getting lost in the smoke. But yeah, I think that these guys are trying the hardest to get that win. But yeah, I just don't know. It looks like we have
Here we
decision.
go. Swipe him left for Adam Hardman. Swipe him right for William Holloway. It's going to be one more time from Eyes there. Swipe him left. Oh, it's going to be a one more time. It's a split decision, but it is going to be a one more time. Adam Hardman versus William Holloway. They're going to go at it again.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
it's a different vote this time, but it's still the same thing. It's a split decision. They'll be going at it again.
yeah, and it looks like we're going to be...
We had our qualifying overlay there mixed in for a second there.
We'll wait for them to reset and get back to that line so we can continue with their battle. So Adam Hardman is going to be in the lead lane. William Holloway is going to be in the chase lane. And let's get excited for this one. These two are going to push it way harder than last time. So let's hope they put it door to door.
Here we go. The lights will go on and the lights will go green, and we'll see these drivers send it for their one more time battle. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and green means go. Simon, or not Simon, Sandman, I don't know why I said that. Adam Hardman going to be leading in. William Holloway here. Adam Hardman. Oh, contact before the initiation. What happened there?
Yeah, I do not know. It looks like
Adam crossing over the line, or was that William Holloway being just a bit too aggressive? We'll have to take a look at the Dials FPV look.
I think we can quickly swap over to that while we're waiting for them to get back to the line.
There we go.
So you see that red line there? So
Adam Hardman. Oh, William Holloway just a bit too aggressive, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like just a bit too aggressive there for William. Trying to push it harder than he did before, but sadly it didn't go right. So we'll go back to the second half of the battle. And here we go. Oh, no. Are we restarting? Oh no, that's a different one. Okay, so we are going to the second run, so that will be pinned on William there, it looks like. So he's handling very... So here we go, Adam Hardman just might have to complete this run, but we do not know.
Alrighty, but here we go. Adam Hardman and William Holloway going to send it for the second half of this battle. You can see the smoke billowing out of those dump pipes off the William Holloway's car. Here we go, sending it down the straightaway. William going to try and send it in for a big initiation here, lighting off those tires now. Fire breathing forerunner. Look at that big initiation, nicely done with Adam Hardman. Knowing that he might have a bit of advantage here, it might be less smart to get right up close like that and put yourself in a position to get a mistake, but Adam Hardman doesn't care. He's going to send it anyways. He's putting it right in the door of that RX-7. Look at this, putting the pressure on. William Holloway, fantastic job in the position, but I don't know if it'll be enough, Alex. Adam Hardman doing a fantastic job in the chase position. This could be it for William Holloway's chase today.
Adam just wanted to make a statement. He's like, I know I have an advantage, but I'm just going to send it. And yeah, it just looks like he did that. And yeah, looks like we already have maybe not updated yet. But these judges are going to be looking at that in the replays and seeing who they decide for the win.
We are just waiting on the judge's decision here. William Holloway doing a fantastic job in the lead position, but will it be enough to offset the contact that he did on the run up to that last run there? Quite sure if it was his fault or if it was Adam Hardman's fault, but Adam looked like he was well within his rights of flicking on that line there. So it'll be I'm quite hoping to see what the judges decide here. I'm wondering what their decision is going to be. Will it be William Holloway or will it be Adam Hardman? Who's going to move on to face Ernestus Kubulas in that top 8 position?
We're still waiting for the judge's decision here. Looks like they are taking hard thoughts at this.
Which I think we all appreciate. While it might take a little bit, it might take a little while. But the judges definitely making sure that they get down the best possible answer that they can, so that, you know, nobody goes home angry about it. You know, they all understand why they might have won or lost. So hopefully that helps. And sometimes, yes, that does take a little bit longer, but the judges definitely doing a good job so far. So we should get
100%.
in. Should be getting in a call soon.
Yeah. And it's just trying to check to see who's at fault for that, but we do not know. I don't see Adam Hardman going over the line there, so I don't know if it really is going to be his fault. So,
and if you're just tuning in with us now, this is Scottish Virtual Drift Series Round 2, Series 2. This has been a super exciting event so far. We've seen some fantastic battles in top 32, and we're just about a quarter of the way through our top 16. So we still have a lot of action coming, so make sure you stay tuned as we are trying to get this battle decided. We hope you're enjoying your time here. We hope you're enjoying the stream. Blackout doing a fantastic job keeping us up and running. And I believe we should be coming to a decision here in just a moment here. Let's see. Swipe him left for Hardman. Swipe him right for William Holloway. Rise, Arctic's Tire. Oh, and they're saying it's Adam Hardman's fault. So it looks like William Holloway is going to be getting the win on that battle. And we move moving on to the top 8. That might be a bit controversial for the people behind us. We might get a decision here. I might ask a judge to come in here.
yeah, I think we do need that indeed. So we're gonna most likely get a judge in here to explain that.
We're gonna see if we can drag in a judge here to get an explanation on that call, just to make sure that nobody's angry about it. You know, we want to make sure that everybody has the fair explanation. So we're gonna get somebody who knows a lot better than us in here to explain that call for us here.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it'll be a bit better for all of us to get a head judge in here, just to clear it up and make sure that everyone knows and agrees with the call.
And here we go. It looks like we're gonna get Tyre, one of our judges here. He's gonna explain that call for us here. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah. So what happened in Hardman's lead is that when Hardman was coming out of the chicane, he was full throttle like for a split second early on, but he went to half throttle for about pretty much the entire way until he just got to the beginning of the red line, which pretty much sandbagged William Holloway. So that's why we gave it to William Holloway there.
Okay, so what you're saying is that Adam Hardman slowed down just before the initiation, so he didn't. So William was expecting him to be faster, right?
Yes. So when you get up to that red line, you should be on full throttle, and then you should be flicking into it. Adam Hardman was not doing that.
Okay.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much, Ty, for clearing that up. It's awesome to get a judge's input. Whenever you're ready, you can head back over to the judges chat.
All right, no problem.
Alrighty, that was Ty Saprell Tire there. He is one of our judges of the day. You see his name pop up every time we get those sliders out, and that was him explaining the call there. Just that you guys have all the information, you know. We won't bring him in on every call, but right there we're trying to make sure that on any call that might be a little bit confusing for the viewers, we get in somebody explain it. So there we go. We hope you're satisfied, and now we get to move on to Daniel Andreev versus Seth Miller. Alrighty, so Daniel Andreev in that lead position, going to be good, and going to be sending it after that light tree lights off. See it go red for 3 clicks, and then it'll go to green, and that'll be there to send it. Daniel Andreev and Seth Miller. Seth Miller in the chase position. Daniel Andreev in the lead. That IRTS 15 very fast, so Seth Miller is going to want to make sure that he can keep up with it for sure.
Yeah, and two beautiful cars, Daniel Andreev in that beautiful IRTS 15, and that M2 looking spicy as usual. So we'll be waiting for Rise to send them off.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate getting our judge in here. Thank you very much once again to Tyce Tire coming in here and giving us that explanation. So here we go. We should hopefully be getting these guys going here. Daniel Andreev and Seth Miller. And here we go. Light goes green. Daniel Andreev in the lead position. Seth Miller going to be chasing him into that BMW F22, sending a big flick initiation from Daniel Andreev. Seth Miller right there on the door, pushing a bit more proximity here, losing a bit of that angle, but sticking with him nonetheless here, getting it right up onto the door. And here we go. This is where Daniel is going to be the fastest here through this section of the course, but Seth not phased. He sticks with him. He stays up on the door of that IRT S15, transitioning into clip 8 and 9. Seth looking fantastic in the chase, but Daniel Andreev putting down a clinic in the lead position.
Yeah, very nice run there from both drivers. Seth Miller surprising everyone there in the chase position. So we'll be moving on to the second half of this run where he will be put in the lead and put under pressure by Daniel Andreev.
Alrighty, well, yeah, let's get them flip-flopped around. Daniel Andreev going to be, ooh, look at that, he's setting himself up. He wants to make sure that he is just as fast as Seth Miller coming out of that start chicane so that he doesn't get left in the dust. That light goes green, Seth Miller takes off, and Daniel Andreev, look at that, uses that strategy quite well and sticks right to the side of him here. Look at this big initiation here from both these guys. Big flick, nicely done from Daniel Andreev, getting right up onto the door from initiation through. And here we go, Seth Miller looking fantastic into this inside clip, but Daniel Andreev, look at that, pushing through that door, trying to get right up there, put on the proximity with Seth Miller, putting down one fantastic line. Look at that, nicely done in clip 9 with Daniel Andreev right up on the side of that F22. Fantastic job from both of these guys. Definitely going to be a hard one to judge for our judges, but as you see, they make good calls quite often. So this will be interesting. But here you go, Alex. Let's break it down to the tune of Dials' FPV.
Yeah, so you can see very nice proximity here from Seth Miller, Daniel Andreev on that beautiful lead line, getting that A line. Seth Miller on a bit lower angles just so he can keep up with that IIT powered S15, but just putting it on his door. But Daniel Andreev pulling away through that transition. Seth Miller having to sacrifice a bit of line there to get up there. But coming into the second half, you can see Daniel Andreev just side by side. And then big flick onto the door, missing that first clip, but it was sort of worth it here for Daniel Andreev. Maybe lacking a bit of angle mimicking, but just pushing him up that hill. And yeah, it's just a bit like Stranger Things, you know, running up that hill, but doing very well there for Daniel Andreev and Seth Miller in that sync BMW.
I'm gonna need you to halt it with the Stranger Things jokes. I never seen it, and I don't want to. So,
oh my God.
This is a weird replay bug that we were just having there for a second. But yeah, just as Alex was saying, Seth Miller doing a fantastic job in the lead position with Daniel Andreev with that very aggressive initiation right up on the door. Sticks with him, has the proximity, and keeps matching the angle here coming through this section of the course. Look at that. Just the amount of just speed that Daniel Andreev can carry behind somebody is absolutely incredible to watch and just absolutely fantastic to see. So Daniel Andreev doing a fantastic job in that chase position with Seth Miller doing also a very, very swell job in that lead position. So we'll have to see how this battle turns out. The judge is going to have a lot to look at here as we push on into further and further into competition. These battles are going to get closer and closer and harder to judge. So bear with us as some of these calls might take a little bit longer just because we want to make sure we're getting the right call down for sure. Should be getting a decision here any moment.
It was a very beautiful flick in there, but it looks like we do have a decision. And swipe him left for Daniel Andreev, swipe him right for Seth Miller. And there we go, unanimous decision. Daniel Andreev gets the win, and he'll be moving on to the top 8. So we'll be moving on to our next battle here, Mark O'Rourke versus Joe Vala.
Ooh, this is a battle I'm quite excited for.
Yeah, both people in beautiful cars. Mark O'Rourke in that A80 Supra. and then Joe Vala in that beautiful 240 SX.
This is going to be one for the night here. Marco Rourke and Joe Vala, two very talented drivers, and Marco Rourke coming off a really good performance in the last round. So look at this beautiful initiation from both of these guys. Marco Rourke doing a fantastic job in the lead position, but Joe Vala not backing down that 240, sticking it right to the door of that A80 Super as they come around. Ooh, Vala though losing a bit of ground through that transition. Not sure what happened. We'll have to cut to the dials FPV at the end of these two runs to see what happened there, but a little bit of a transition here as Joe Vala tries to stick it onto that A80 door, and it looks like it's good. Vala doing a pretty good job, but we'll definitely have to see what happened towards that inside clip section, because he did fall off quite a bit there, so it'll be interesting to see what happened there. But now we're going to switch it up. Vala's going to take a shot at the lead, and Marco Rourke going to stick it to the door of that 240 SX. And here we go, they're lined back up. We'll get Rise on that light tree. You'll see 1, 2, 3, and green means go. Joe Vala sending it down the straightaway. Here we go. Marco Rourke will be chasing him in. Ooh, a little bit of a gap opened up, but Joe Vala also sending it wide because of all the speed he had coming into this outside clip. Marco Rourke not phased by any of it, sticking it right to the door of that 240 and pushing that proximity on, putting the pressure onto Joe Vala's door. Joe Vala might be getting a little bit phased by it with a couple of little corrections here as Marco Rourke putting it right up there. That lunge was insane from Marco Rourke.
Very nice. There we go.
Fantastic job from both of these guys. We got a couple of supporters in chat for Joe Vala. Let's just see again that FPV drone on this here. Alex, take it away.
Yes, you can see Marco Rourke, very nice initiation. Joe Vala getting on the door here, coming through the transition. Very nice transition. Marco Rourke just having that speed. He's just going, it's just really fast up that hill. I think that's that A80 type beat right there. He's going very fast. And Joe Vala struggling to keep up with Marco Rourke there. And I think, yeah, it's just Joe Vala rocket shipping, missing the first clip, taking the complete wrong line there. So I think he made a bit too big a mistake to make up for Marco Rourke's lead there. Marco Rourke just putting it onto the door, doing what he has to do, and I think that solidified it for him. Yeah, and it looks like we do have a decision. So swipe him left for... Oh, wait, wrong opponents. So here we go. Swipe him left for Marco Rourke. Swipe him right for Joe Vala. And 1, 2, 3, unanimous decision. Marco Rourke gets the win, and Joe Vala will have to put his car back on the trailer. So here we go. Next battle will be Vitaly ICF versus Anx 141. You can see Dials showing off all our sponsors, having fun with that telephone tower.
Alrighty, Vitaly ICF and Anx 141.
I think they're loading in right now. Yes, there we go. Anx on the back bumper already.
Yeah, he's already stiffing that back bumper. He's like, boy, I'm coming for this bumper. I just want you to know it.
Yeah, 100%. And he's gonna. I feel like Anx is gonna come out of nowhere here. I do feel like this could be an upset, maybe. You know.
It's definitely a possibility. Vitaly ICF and Anx 141, both of these drivers pretty fantastic, but Vitaly ICF has definitely proved himself to be one of our more consistent drivers of this series. Let's see if Anx has what it takes to go up against him here as they'll flick on that light tree, send him 1, 2, 3, and green. And here we go. We'll send him here in just a moment. Coming off the tail end of our last battle, Marco Rourke versus Joe Vala was a fantastic battle to watch, but this one I feel could be pretty fantastic as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think just it's a very beautiful car, that S14.9, you know. It does make me start to fall in love with S chassis again, but also that AAT with that new IRT livery looks absolutely insane. Some of the better looking cars out here.
For sure, but we'll get ready to send him here in just a moment. You'll see Dials FPV come up here. We'll have to see that the
drone
Dials
run.
Are we gonna get a Dials run? That would be really sick to see.
Oh, here we go. Yes,
The
we
lights
are.
go on, the lights go green, and what? Vitaly Isev doesn't take off when he's supposed to. Could this be an issue of him not seeing the lights, or is he just being a little bit lazy there on that first run? Maybe he wasn't quite ready. We're gonna send him again. See that light tree come on, go green. And here we go. Vitaly Isev sees it this time, and he takes off out of that start chicane. Angst 141 going to be trying to follow him in here. Vitaly Isev takes the initiation. Angst right on the door on that initiation and sticks with him. Vitaly looking fantastic through these outside clips, transitioning. Beautiful job as it comes around these inside clips here. Nicely done with Angst right there, pushing the proximity. See, he knows that Vitaly Isev is a big contender. He knows, and he wants to play spoiler. He wants to put it right there. Beautiful job there from Angst 141. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting it, but I'm biting my words right now. That Angst is definitely a contender for a win for this battle. It'll definitely come down to the lead to see if he can do just as good. And Vitaly will be trying to put down one hell of a chase run to match what we just saw here. So Dial's gonna be flying in to get a nice close look at these guys as they take off out of that start chicane. You'll see Rises light tree go red, go green, and here we go. Angst 141 out of the start chicane here for the lead. Coming out of that straightaway here. Vitaly gonna be flicking it in with him. Here we go. Big initiation. Oh, where's Dials going? Oh, it's gonna be a restart because I think Angst tapped a cone on the way out. Unfortunate. I don't know what is going on. Maybe the cones are just a little bit tight.
Yeah, and it looks like Angst hit a cone on the way out, so we will be restarting. So we'll be going back to that Dials. Oh my god! Oh. But yeah, we'll be going back to that Dials FPV camp and seeing what happens here in the second half.
Here we go, Angst 141, hopefully not hitting a cone this time, and it looks like it's going to be clean. So Vitaly Isev going to be following him in that 880 Supra, flicking in. Not quite as close as Angst was on the initiation, but pushing that proximity on now through the second half of this first quarter. Big transition. Angst looking beautiful through that outside clip to the inside clip. Vitaly pushing the proximity on, putting the pressure on through this section, but out to outside zone 6. Beautiful job from Angst 141, just putting down a textbook lead line, but Vitaly right there with him. Ooh, possibly dropping a tire as Angst getting into that outside zone 8 and 9 and finishing out the run strong on both of these drivers. But Vitaly throwing down one hell of a chase run, but will it be enough, or will Angst take it home?
Yeah, do not know there. That's a very hard call there for the judges. I don't want to be them right now. So they're going to be sitting there and debuggling this run. So we will see what they can do just on that door as Vitaly Isev. But Angst doing the exact same thing when he was in the chase, so we don't know that. Very nice line there. If he maybe dropping a tire, but yeah, overall a very good run. Yeah, so here you go, you can see Vitaly, nice flick, but Angst on that door, pushing him along, just having that more consistent proximity, diving in again, just staying on his door, letting go of the angle a bit, just to get back up on there, and just absolutely demolishing that door, coming back around, just staying on that back wheel and making sure it is a clean run. But it looks like we do have a decision. Swipe him left for Vitaly, swipe him right for Angst, and Vitaly gets the win, and he'll be moving on to our top 8. So now is Marcel Studzinski versus Kristaps Rasa.
Now this is going to be one hell of a battle. Kristaps and Marcel both doing a fantastic job in qualifying, and Marcel having won a battle today. Now this will be Kristaps's first actual battle of today, as he did have a buy run into the top 16, so he's definitely got a little less experience today than Mr. Marcel Studzinski. So we're gonna get these lights flashing red and going green. We'll get these guys going here in just a moment.
Big flames coming out in cars.
Absolutely love to see it. That 89 going to be following in that S15 of Marcel Studzinski. Alrighty, and here we go. Marcel out of the lead chicane here. Christoph Rasa going to be following him in, and Marcel Studzinski going to be flicking it in. A big initiation. Love to see it here with Christoph Rasa sticking it on the door.
Very nice.
Big could be following Marcel Studzinski a little bit closer, with Studzinski looking beautiful in that lead line. We love to see it. Rasa looking really good in the chase position, though, putting the pressure on, looking comfortable, cool, calm, and collected, sticking it to the side of the S15.
Very nice.
Studzinski doing a fantastic lead run. Beautiful job from both of these drivers, and can't wait to see the second half.
Yeah, it's very nice runs from these guys here, doing the best they can, so we'll be waiting to see what they can do for the second half of this run.
Alrighty, they're lined back up. Marcel Studzinski going to be chasing in Christoph Rasa, and here we go. Out of that start chicane is Rasa. Marcel Studzinski to chase him in that S15 versus that A90. Oh, a bit of a gap. Marcel Studzinski having to lunge in to get up onto the door and finds that proximity. But Marcel Studzinski throwing a pretty good chase run with Christoph Rasa, doing a beautiful job in the lead position, pushing up the hill to outside zone 6, but Marcel will not give him an inch. He's putting it right there, right where he needs to be, sticking that car exactly where it wants to be on that outside zone 9, finishing out the run. Fantastic showing from both of these guys. Let's take it over to the judges to figure out who is going to take that win home.
Yeah, it's a very close battle here. I think there's a lot of mistakes between the two, but one of them's got to take it home. So we'll see what the judges think of this battle, and yeah, we won't know what to say until then. But you know, next battle is Danielis Paragauskas versus Linus Tornkvest and Anthony Taylor versus Cameron Mercer. Remember, we still have that battle to go, which is going to be absolutely insane.
Just waiting on a call from the judges here as we take a look at Dials' FPV look. We love to see it. Dial's doing a fantastic job. That drone pilot, super cool to see. Just how cool that Assetto Corsa tech has gotten to give you guys the best show possible. SVDS committed to making sure that you guys get a beautiful viewing pleasure.
Yeah, 100%. And there's a lot of work that go into these live streams. Like, you know, the trial and error that we always have to do, and it's just so nice to have the team and everything that we do. And yeah, it's very well put together so far. We've actually had a great live stream so far. So let's keep this going, get the energy up in chat, and let's send it into the rest of this top 16. The judges are definitely taking their time with this one, and it looks like we do have a decision. So we'll pull up judge screen.
Those aren't the drivers.
We'll swap over the opponents on the judging screen. So let's swipe them left for Marcel Studzinski, swipe them right for Christoph Rasa, and there we go. Looks like we'll get a 1, a 2. Oh, it's a split decision, but Marcel Studzinski gets the win. And looks like Kristaps will have to be putting it back onto the trailer. So here we go, Danielis Paragauskas versus Linus Tornkvest. And this is going to be a very interesting battle here. Danielis Paragauskas already has put a name out for himself in the VDC series, being a VDC driver, I'm pretty sure. And Linus Tornkvest being quite new to the comp drifting scene, but putting his name out there, fighting hard. And here we go. Danielis Paragauskas in the lead, Linus in the chase, and let's see what these two boys can do. Big flick initiation by Danielis, but Linus right behind him, diving in onto the door. Bit of a bobble there from Danielis, but nice transition there from Linus, but maybe having to cut a bit of line there. Danielis, nice lead line there, maybe a bit choppy on that angle, but doing so far so good. But Linus just being aggressive, pushing onto that door and making sure he has a chance in this fight. Spitting massive flames out the hood of that 2JZ A80 Supra. I know them Drift Time boys like to do a lot of modelling with their cars, and they are looking good today. Same with IRT. You can see that bow down there. Them two, Anthony Taylor and Cameron Mustard. But here we go, swap them around. Danielis Paragauskas in the chase and Linus Tornkvest in the lead. So we're going to be waiting for Rise to let the lights go red, and then they will go green. Of course, beautiful looking track made by Rise. So here we go. Can Linus do the banger lead run that we all know he can do? Danielis Paragauskas side by side, diving in onto that door. Nice proximity there, but Linus on that white line, doing a robotic lead line. But Danielis Paragauskas is saying, nope, I'm staying here, but I'm gonna door you all the way around this track. And Linus is like, okay, watch this lead line. And here we go, diving into the last corner, but Danielis Paragauskas on that door, coming through the finish line. I think that was one of the best battles so far. Nice, clean, smooth, and I know the judges are going to be debating on this one, but are we excited for the next one? So you see the drone FPV cam here, so very nice initiation by both drivers. Danielis dropping the tire actually there, dropping the tire there again, but Linus pushing forward there, maybe a bit too much forward drive, but getting back onto the door side by side, pivoting his car around Danielis, but just back on that door on the transition. Perfect transition there. Just nice, robotic driving. It's almost like we are watching some sort of AI coming out of these two guys, but you know, it's all human, and these guys will be someday the mech champions, so we never know. We'll be looking at the second half of the battle through the FPV cam in a second. Big Steve, very nice dive from Linus there, and just an amazing part to that run. So you can see Linus' lead here. Danielis Paragauskas going side by side on that initiation, trying his hardest, pushing it up onto that door, knowing that he has that tire drop, so he's making sure that there is a statement made, going up that hill, trying gaining proximity. That F22 having so much grip onto the A80 store, somehow is faster than the A80 Supra, but diving in again. It's almost like watching the same run back and forth with different cars in the lead and chase. And man, that is a very good battle from these two guys, and I think it's going to be a hard one for the judges to do, and I think that it could go to a one more time. I do really think that this battle could end up in a one more time, but we will not know until the judges put in their decision, which we're still waiting for. Obviously them checking the replays, making sure they get everything right. But it's quite interesting so far to see who are they voting for. As you know, me and Austin have access to the sheets, so we do know what judge is going for what, and it's very interesting to watch this before you guys know. And it's nice to see where it goes and what direction it is heading. But we'll be waiting for them judges And it's very hard having these open spaces to talk. We try our hardest. So maybe you guys should ask some questions in the chat. Ask what you want to, to fill in these tight spaces. We do need it. Need a bit of conversation. It is hard to fill in these little holes where the judges do take a while to find the victor. But yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, so we're going to be putting the bracket up here on the screen so you can see top four is very interesting so far. Ernestas Kubulas, a final battle versus William Holloway, and it looks like all these battles look like they're final battles, to be fair.
Ernestas Kubulas versus William Holloway, Daniel Andreev versus Mark O'Rourke, Vitaly Isev versus Marcel Studzinski, and yet to be determined, will it be Danielis Paragauskas or Linus Tornkvest, or will it be Anthony Taylor and Cameron Mustard? Moving on to that top 8, that bottom half of the bracket we're still working on here. We're waiting on a decision between Danielis Paragauskas and Linus Tornkvest.
Yeah, that looks like it's come in.
Oh, and it looks like it's gonna be, here we go. Swipe him left or swipe him right. Will it be Danielis Paragauskas or will it be Linus Tornkvest?
So here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, only
Not
2.
Quite 3, but Linus Tornkvest is going to be moving on to that top 8, which means we get to move on to the next battle. Anthony Taylor versus Cameron Mustard. I have been waiting for this battle all day.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting when Anthony Taylor knows he has to push hard, but so does Cameron Mustard. A very nice view of the track there from Dyce. And we'll wait for the drivers to get to that start line and chicane. There we go.
Alright, these drivers getting lined up. Man, this is going to be a barn burner. Anthony Taylor in that Zone 1. That Zone 1 Motorsports E92. Super sick to see him driving that. Sponsored by Blake Olson and them himself. And we got that Jap Speed R32 being driven by Cameron Mustard. These guys, super awesome drivers and very, very competitive. So it'll be interesting to see who is going to come out on top, who's going to make a mistake, who's going to be perfect, and who is going to send it, man.
Yeah, so we'll be waiting here for Rise/Rizzle, because we like to call him Rizzle, but for no reason. But we're waiting for them start line to go off. You see patiently waiting there in them 2 beautiful real life cars, as they're both replicas, so it's going to be very interesting to see these guys go head to head. It's FD driver versus BDC car, so it's very interesting there.
For sure, but here we go. We're going to see that light tree light up red. It'll go green, and that's our driver's cue to send it. So here we go. Any time now, judges.
Yeah, exactly. If you know how traffic light works, you know how start pin works.
Well, not quite. There's no yellow light.
Yeah, but same thing, red equals stop, green equals go.
Oh, we're getting Cameron Mustard backing up a little bit. Where is he going? He's going somewhere else. Said, I don't even want to battle him. Screw that. I don't want to battle him. No battles. Waiting now for the start line officials to send them. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Green means go. Anthony Taylor out of that start chicane in that Zone 1 Motorsports E92 with that Jap Speed R32 following him in. This is going to be one hell of a battle. Here we go. Anthony Taylor throwing in a beautiful initiation with Cameron Mustard right on the door to follow. Look at this, putting on the pressure as Cameron Mustard as Anthony Taylor looking solid around this inside clip.
Oh my God, here we go.
All over the door in that R32 GTR. Look at that, pushing on that proximity. With Anthony Taylor not skipping a beat in the lead line. Beautiful job so far. Cameron Mustard not giving him an inch. Man, what a good battle so far.
Yeah, very good chase there from Cameron Mustard and a very good lead from Anthony Taylor. So we will be swapping them around. Can Cameron Mustard do a good lead, and can Anthony Taylor do an amazing chase?
Alrighty, here we go. Cameron Mustard in the lead. Here we go. Let's see how he does. Cameron Mustard with that Zone 1 Performance E92 following him in. Look at this beautiful initiation. Anthony Taylor right up on the door. Those not flashers flashing us here.
There we go. Big
dive onto the door. Beautiful job from Anthony Taylor. As
oh my God!
Proximity. Look how aggressive he's being on the door of Cameron Mustard. Beautifully lined. Oh, Anthony Taylor over rotates.
No!
Oh!
But that was so close.
A bitter end to what was supposed to be a sweet run. Anthony Taylor making that mistake there. The judges definitely going to be taking a look. Was it Cameron Mustard deselling too much, or did Anthony Taylor just make that mistake and over-rotating into the end? I know if that was on, Anthony Taylor is going to be kicking himself, beating himself up about it, and knowing that he's going to possibly take himself out here. But here you go, Alex. It's your domain.
Yikes, the very aggressive chase by Cameron Mustard. Anthony Taylor doing an amazing lead line. And yeah, it's just that last corner, it was so close. Yeah, it's just very... We'll see what happened here. Coming in. Very nice chase from out. Look, he's just literally inside of his door, coming up that whole hill. And let's see what happens here. It does look like it's a bit of a hard slowdown, but you know, it's not too much. But I'm not a judge, I don't decide that, so we'll see what the judges think. So there we go, we have a decision. Right, we'll be waiting for it to come up on the screen. So swipe him left for Anthony Taylor, swipe him right for Cameron Mustard. And your winner is Cameron Mustard. He will take the win, unanimous decision. And this battle next is absolutely insane. We have Anastas Kubulas versus William Holloway. See this,
we really quickly get our top 8 bracket up onto the screen here. We're gonna talk to you guys about who the top 8 is here. Look at this. All right, we got Anastas Kubulas versus William Holloway, Daniel Andreev versus Mark O'Rourke, Vitaly Isev versus I can't quite make it out. It's very pixely. Looks like we got Linus Tornkvest versus Cameron Mustard below that, and I believe I'm looking at that correctly. That's Marcel Studzinski, but again, very pixelated on my side of the screen. Quite hard to make it out. But hey, Anastas Kubulas versus William Holloway. Ready to send it here. Alrighty, that fire-breathing four-rotor to chase in that S14 of Anastas Kubulas. This is going to be a big one, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. Anastas Kubulas going up against William Holloway. William in that... little bit of a mistake coming out of that start chicane here, but look at this. William Holloway going to try and stick it onto the door anyways. Anastas looking very solid in the lead position, but William Holloway not giving him an inch in that fire-breathing four-rotor. Renewable Lubricants RX-7 trying to stick it onto the door of that S14. Beautiful job as he's sticking it around this course. Anastas throwing on a beautiful lead line and not give William Holloway an inch, but William's going to take it anyways. And look at that, a beautiful run from both of these guys. Definitely going to be interesting to see what that hiccup was on the start of the run. But they're going to line it back up and set it for the second half of the battle here. Ernestas roasting off his tires before the second run here. Does, you know what is grip? I don't need grip. You know, that's a rotary in front of me. It'll probably break before it gets to the line. I don't need no tires. Obviously, all jokes here. That fire-breathing four-rotor has definitely proved to be quite competitive from William Holloway here, but Ernestas Kubulas is going to be looking to play spoiler and keep moving on to that top 4 spot. So who's going to take it? Who's going to move on? Who's going to be our first driver in the top 4? We'll get these guys going here. 3, 2, 1. Green means go. William Holloway in that lead position. That KMR fire-breathing four-rotor renewable lubricants RX-7. With Ernestas Kubulas sending it in behind him. Look at this. Whoa, big lunge from Ernestas Kubulas. William Holloway looking fantastic in the lead position. Getting nice and deep in these outside clips. Into this inside clip. Ernestas straight onto the door. Ooh, might have been contact, but it looked like a little bit of a straighten up from William Holloway. Look at this coming into these outside zones. William looking very solid through this section of the course. Big angle as he comes around clip die with Ernestas right on the back door. What a battle! Absolutely fantastic. He's doing some rings line over here. Look at this beautiful job from both of these guys sticking their houses together, trying to give us a show. Like, you can barely see him through that smoke. But here we go as we look at the Dials FPV run. Look at this, a little bit of a mistake from William Holloway as he has to cut the track to get up onto the side of that S14, but manages to find that proximity as he transitions here, getting up onto the side of that S14, losing quite a bit of ground as Ernestas just takes off from him. Those Vitor tires of that RX-7 just can't quite seem to hook up behind him. But hey, look at this right here. Gets back up onto the door. So he's definitely putting up a fight and trying to keep that car next to that S14. But here we go. Look at this. This will be the kicker here. We saw a little bit of a tire drop there from William Holloway. That might be what caused a bit of a checkup here. But right here, I want to see, is there contact here straightening up William Holloway? It doesn't look like it. I think William Holloway just straightened up a little bit on his own. So it'll come down to the judges to decide for sure as they finish out this run here. Alrighty, let's swipe him left for Ernestas Kubulas, swipe him right for William Holloway. Rise, Arctics, and Tire siding with Ernestas Kubulas is going to be moving on. Will be our first fighter for the top 4. Absolutely fantastic showing. Both of these drivers. Next up, we got Daniel Andreev versus Mark O'Rourke. Oh, and they've already been going for their run. That's funny. All right, I didn't commentate that run because I didn't even realize they were going. That's fun. Mark O'Rourke and Daniel Andreev already doing a fantastic run, but I mean, I really hope Dial's got a replay of that. We'll have to take a look at that after. But here we go. I guess we'll get them set for the second half of this battle. Daniel Andreev in the chase position. With Mark O'Rourke in the lead, that A80 Supra going to be sending it in. There we go. Light goes green. Mark O'Rourke gets to send it in the clean air. Daniel Andreev gets to chase him in. Mark O'Rourke sending it in. Beautiful job on that initiation with Daniel Andreev right there on the front wheel. Look at that lunge. Absolutely fantastic job from Daniel Andreev so far. Transitioning bumper to bumper. Putting the pressure on Mark O'Rourke quite quick through this section. But Daniel Andreev is not phased. He sticks it right on the door of that A80 Supra. Big angle as Mark O'Rourke comes around this last section of the course. Big transition into outside zone 9. Daniel Andreev is right there. Fantastic job from both of these guys. Hoping we have a replay of that first run because we didn't quite get to see it here on the live stream. Let's see here. No, this is the lead run of Mark O'Rourke. Once again. I don't think we might not. I don't think we have a replay for that first run, which is unfortunate. So, unfortunately, we won't have all of the information here on the stream. We'll just have to trust the judges and make sure that they make the right call. Will it be Mark O'Rourke or Daniel Andreev? Ooh, a little bit of contact there it might have been. Mark O'Rourke came into that inside clip. Daniel Andreev putting a little bit of pressure on. go. Let's see.
And there we go, waiting for the decision.
Waiting for the decision between Marco O'Rourke and Daniel Andreev. This is going to be interesting for sure. Will it be that IRT S50 making it into the top 4 to go against Ernestus Kubulas? Or will it be Marco O'Rourke and his A80 Supra? Marco O'Rourke again coming off of a fantastic finish off the last round. So be looking to do quite well, so we'll see if he can compete here. Will he be able to move on to the top 4, or will his night end here in the top 8?
The bracket is shaping up to be a very interesting bracket, and I know these guys are very happy that they're making it through this far. Looks like we have a decision. Oh no, we don't.
We have a decision, but we're waiting on a third judge. A little bit lazy here, trying to make a call. Waiting on that third judge to make a decision. Apologies everybody for the wait here. Not sure what the holdup is, but we are taking a look. Having the judges take a look at it. Looking at the replays, making sure they get the right decision every time.
Yeah, still waiting for an answer from one judge in particular. And if that one judge decides to vote, we'll be on our way.
It's unfortunate that it is taking this long to make a call on this battle, but ladies and gentlemen, while you wait here, please keep in mind that you can still get, we do not have any more series entry tickets, but if you head over to SVDS, ScottishVirtualDriftSeries.com, you guys can still get single round entry tickets. We do still have a few of those left. They're $10 per entry, so we still have a few tickets of those left. So if you do feel like you have what it takes to come and compete, make sure you get over there to SVDS, ScottishVirtualDriftSeries.com, and get yourself some single round entry tickets if you feel like you can compete. We'd also like to give a quick shout out to everybody who makes this this series possible. Most notably Driftland, the track we're competing on, giving us all the rights to be able to create the track on Assetto Corsa, as well as create custom layouts and run their layouts as well. So this layout is already an existing layout, but if you remember, last event was a completely custom layout made by Rise himself, also a staff worker at Driftland. He's the one who is the mastermind behind the virtual side of this. One of the newest sponsors of the series, we have Dyce Carriers Ltd, super committed. They've been running trucks since 1973, and they have over 100 employees and over 100 trucks committed to getting you your goods and services across long spans, long distances. Love to see it. If you're looking for an alignment, head over to Edmonstone Garage. They provide both MOT service and repairs to both vehicles and motorcycles. And Hunter Hawkeye four-wheel alignment services. So head over there if you need an alignment from Edmonstone Garage. And hey, if you're a wild child, if you like to get yourself out of the skate parks, if you're a scooter rider, head over to Frontside Supply. They are a premium stunt scooter store based in Rugby, who strive to provide a top-class service. From hardware to safety gear, we've got you covered. Ran as Rider, owned by Brandon Carter, who has 13 years of experience both as a rider and a maintainer of equipment. Will not settle for less than perfect, so come through and start your journey into the amazing action sports community over at Frontside Supply. All right, and it looks like we finally have a decision. Daniel Andreev, Marco O'Rourke here. Swipe him left. Swipe him right, swipe him left for Daniel Andreev, and swipe him right for Marco O'Rourke. Here we go. And it's gonna be two judges saying Daniel Andreev and one saying one more time. It took quite a while for them to call for a one more time, but it does look like Daniel Andreev is gonna come out on top, meaning that we finally get to move on to our battle between Vitaly Isaev and Marcel Studzinski. This is going to be quite an interesting battle. Marcel definitely known for being quite consistent out here on track, but Vitaly has proved himself, while fresh, still a fantastic driver and definitely earning of that IRT sponsorship. Absolutely fantastic driver, and cannot wait to get him going. So Marcel Studzinski to be chasing in Vitaly Isaev. We're going to send him here. See that light tree? It'll go red. It'll go green. I've explained this quite a few times, so you know that green means go by now. Here we go. Vitaly Isaev in that lead position on A80 Supra. Marcel Studzinski in the chase position. Look at this, sending it in. Beautiful job as it gets right up on the door of Vitaly Isaev. Isaev looking really good here. Transitioning. Beautiful job into that outside clip. Marcel Studzinski right there on the side of that A80 Supra. Pushing in the door. Wow, what a proximity. Look at that. Fantastic job as they transition here from the stock section of the course. Lunging up onto the course, Marcel Studzinski, but damn straight. Vitaly Isaev gave him a really good lead for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Marcel trying to make a statement here saying, you know, I won another round. I may have won a round last season, but I want another. And here we go. Vitaly Isaev in that chase position, looking to get a jump on Marcel here. We'll wait for Rizzle to start up that start light.
Alrighty, here we go. Marcel Studzinski to lead in Vitaly Isaev. We're going to get him sent here in just a moment. There we go. The red lights go on and green means go. Let's see it. Marcel Studzinski in that S15 going to be leading in Vitaly Isaev in that A80 Supra. Coming in, ready to big flick initiation. Nicely done by Marcel Studzinski, but Isaev right there with him. Vitaly trying to stick it to the door of that S15. Big transition, getting onto the side of Marcel Studzinski as they go around that inside clip. Marcel trying to pull away, but Vitaly won't let him, reeling him in like a fish on a line. Here we go, sending it into this next section of the course. Beautiful job with that transition. Vitaly though putting on the pressure as they go over the line. Nicely done.
I think Marcel's very happy with his performance there against Vitaly, and we'll have to see what the judges think of that.
These guys are definitely going to have a lot to look at here.
Big dive there. Nearly hitting the back bumper, but just keeping it there. But as you can see, coming in here, I do think there's about the same amount of proximity here. It's nearly the same run. Marcel throwing a lot of angle in that lead lane. Obviously being a very stylish driver, but Vitaly Isev not letting go and just saying, I can do that too, buddy. And just matching. As we wait for a judge call. As we are still waiting for the decision here. Waiting for one more judge. Yep. We are waiting and waiting as the tension builds, and it looks like we do have one.
Alrighty, swiping left for Vitaly Isev, or swiping right for Marcel Studzinski. It's going to be one vote. Oh, 2 votes. All right, so it's not unanimous, but Vitaly Isev gets to move on to our top 4. A fantastic showing from Vitaly Isev so far. As we move on now to Linus Tornkvest versus
Cameron Mustard.
Cameron Mustard.
Dyce just having fun in the background, standing it around Driftland in his drone, having some fun. And here we go, they're lining up for their run. It looks like Dyce has forgot to take off his film, but here we go.
Alrighty, Linus Tornkvest to lead in Cameron Mustard. This is going to be one hell of a battle. Cameron Mustard driving absolutely fantastic today. Same with Linus Tornkvest. I mean, they wouldn't be in the top 8 together if they weren't driving great, would they? So we're gonna send them here in just a moment. The lights are gonna go red, they'll go green, and I've told you this about 1,000 times already today. So let's send them here in just a moment. Linus Tornkvest versus Cameron Mustard. Here we go. Cameron Mustard to chase in Linus Tornkvest. Linus sending it out in that A80 Supra. Ready to send it here. Big initiation, but Cameron Mustard right there on the door with him. Look at that, putting the pressure on. Big energy from Linus Tornkvest. Looks like it did choke him up and not quite get out to that outside zone that he needed to. With Cameron Mustard trying to find the line once again, trying to settle in here with Linus Tornkvest. Looking pretty solid during this lead run, but that mistake is definitely going to cost him. Cameron Mustard, though, beautiful job on the rest of this chase run. Fantastic job so far.
Yeah, 100%. Linus doing a nice lead run, except from the bit too much angle coming around the first corner. But Cameron Mustard staying composed, keeping it on the door as usual.
Alrighty, ready to send it for their second run here. Linus Tornkvest in the chase position. Cameron Mustard in the lead. Cameron Mustard going to take a stab at this lead run here. He knows this track inside and out. Everybody here has gotten quite a bit of practice, but I feel like Cameron Mustard might have a little bit of that edge over everybody here. He's got so much experience at this track. But here we go. Cameron Mustard sending it down the straightaway with Linus Tornkvest to chase him in. Whoa! Big lunge from Linus, getting right up on the door for the Cameron Mustard. Mustard doing a fantastic job as he transitions through this. Look at this beautiful job in the chase position from Linus Tornkvest, though, as he puts on the pressure through outside zone 6. Cameron Mustard, fantastic job so far in the lead position. But whoa! Big lunge here from Linus Tornkvest as he finishes out the run right up there. Wow! What a aggressive chase run from both of these drivers. That was fantastic from Linus there. Alex, what are you thinking so far?
Yeah, that was just insane. That dive, he's just diving a lot, and it's so you can see that bit of bobble there. It's too much angle.
Time we give Linus Tornkvest an Olympic gold medal in sports diving.
Yeah, I know. Someone give him a gold medal, you know. But it looks like we already have a decision. Swipe him left for Vitaly Isiev, swipe him right. Oh no.
Those aren't the drivers.
Swipe.
Here we go. Linus Tornkvest versus Cameron Mustard. Swipe him left, swipe him. Oh, Cameron Mustard gets the win.
Yeah, and it'll be down to that little over rotation there, but
which means if we can
top
get up
four
here,
is looking spicy.
Yeah, if we can get up here, our bracket for the top 4. Look at this,
Here we
Alex.
go.
Do you mind?
And Nestas Kubulas versus Daniel Andreev for the first battle, and then Vitaly Isiev versus Cameron Mustard. This is a battle of the Europeans here. They've all come out to show. Cameron fighting at his home track, so we all expect Cameron to do something here to try fight for Scotland and get the win. But all these other drivers are amazing drivers. They've all been in the scene for a very long time. So I'm expecting door to door. And 2 team members in the top 4. You can't miss them cars. Very two beautiful looking cars. But for now, it's going to be, it looks like Nestas versus Daniel.
Alrighty, we're going to get these guys going here. This is going to be one hell of a battle. We have Daniel Andreev and Ernestus Kubulas here. Whoa! Sleeping on the line is Daniel Andreev. Ernestus Kubulas sending it here into the initiation. Daniel Andreev, and just to find the proximity, that's probably a bit of a heart attack there as Daniel Andreev just sleeps on the line a little bit there, but hey, look at this. He's putting on the pressure now, and he's getting up on the door of that S14 through outside zone 6. Fantastic job as they're coming through this last section of the course. Daniel Andreev, wow! What a snappy rotation, getting up onto the door of that S14. Fantastic. Man, what a fantastic first half of the battle. This is your top 4, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost here at the end.
Here we go.
Alrighty, here we go. Daniel Andreev in the lead position. Ready to flick it in. Ernestus Kubulas right there on the side of him. That S14 putting it right onto the side of that S15. It's an all-S chassis battle as they transition here, coming into the inside clip. Beautiful job as Ernestus Kubulas gets onto the side of that IRT S15, but loses a little bit of ground there coming into outside zone 6. Daniel Andreev doing a fantastic job in the lead position. Just textbook. Absolutely straight out of the history books. A fantastic run here at Driftland. And then just wow, what a lead run, man.
Yeah, and it doesn't really, whoever loses here has another chance to get on that podium. So, to be fair to them, the fight's not over. They can still get a podium, so we'll just wait to see who gets into the finals and who doesn't.
Alrighty, as we wait for a judge's call, leave it in the live stream chat. Who do you think is going to be your first of our final drivers here? Because these guys going at it. Whoever wins this gets to go into the finals. Whoever does lose it still has a chance at a podium, but whoever wins this is guaranteed one. Who do you think is going to be our first driver to get into the finals? Is it going to be Daniel Andreev or Anastasia Kubulas? Leave it below. Tell us what you think. We hope you're enjoying the stream so far. I hope you're enjoying SVDS Series 2 Round 2. Once again, if you feel like you can compete, we do still have a few single round entry tickets available. No full series anymore, but for $10 or for 10 pounds, or is it euros, pounds? Not sure. But for 10 a round, you can get in and take a shot at some of these big names here. But here we go. Swipe them left for Anastasia Kubulas. Swipe them right for Daniel Andreev. Who's going to move on to the finals? That's 1, 2, and 3 for Anastasia Kubulas. He's going to be moving on to fight for that first place position. Daniel Andreev, don't count him out just yet. He still has a shot at third place. Alrighty. Alrighty.
There we go.
Hello battle. We have Vitaly Isev versus Cameron Mustard. Mustard, gotta love being up here towards the podium. He's getting real close here, but he's just got to take down the giant of today that is Vitaly Isev. And it is definitely going to be a taxing battle here for him.
That's a new one.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, who is going to make it into the finals to go up against Anastasia Kubulas, and who's going to end up losing and go fight for third place with Daniel Andreev? Here we go. Vitaly Isev in that AAD ready to flick it in. Side by side initiation. Cameron Mustard right there on the door. That R32 putting pressure onto that AAD Supra. I'm choking up. I'm choking up here. Here we go, sending it in right on the door of that A80 Supra, pushing the proximity on Cameron Mustard. Wow, he is not giving Vitaly Isev any room to breathe here as he transitions bumper to bumper through outside zone 9. Fantastic, pushing him across the line. Absolutely beautiful showing for that first half of the battle. Now let's swap him around. We'll get him going for that second half here. Cameron Mustard has done a fantastic job in the chase position, but now he's got to prove that he deserves it with a lead. Here we go. Let's get them a send here. We'll get Vitaly lined up behind him. Vitaly taking that staggered approach, hoping to keep the speed off the line and stick with Cameron Mustard. And that RB-powered R32 puts a little bit of a tear in my eye to see an RB doing this well in competition. It's really awesome to see. But here we go. The lights go green and Cameron Mustard to lead in that jab speed. R32 is going to be leading in that IRT A80 Supra. Big initiation. Look at that. Sending it in. Vitaly right there with him. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Cameron Mustard taking it in his stride though, transitioning, getting into that outside zone around the inside clip. Vitaly sticking with him. He's putting that pressure on, gonna push up here through outside zone 6. Maybe not quite as close, but I mean, we're splitting hairs here. Look at this, Cameron Mustard, fantastic job coming into outside zone 9, and look at that Vitaly, fantastic, absolutely amazing job in that chase position. Wow. Oh, man, I don't think I can make a decision if I tried. I do not envy the judges on this call. Imagine this was going to take quite a few minutes here to decide.
Yeah, and there's a masterclass there from both drivers. So you can see here Cameron Mustard's chase. Side by side, that's insane. Just side by side coming in. No. It's just
wow. I'm pretty sure I just saw their bumpers like scrape through each other on that transition. Yeah. Cameron Mustard was so close.
Yeah, he's literally inside of him. Yeah, that sucks. But you know, look at that dive. It's just it's
rubbing him up and down, to quote Alex.
And look at that, not even letting off the throttle coming up there, just absolutely diving. And
that contact's definitely going to be something that the judges look at for sure.
I think that might be a deciding factor, to be fair to Cameron Mustard. But we'll let the judges decide that. As you see, the rest of the run was just amazing. This dive from Vitaly is just, look at that, pushing him across the line, tapping him with his rear end. And to see a masterclass there from both drivers.
Love to see it. That lead line just absolutely phenomenal from Cameron Mustard. That
We have a
R32
decision.
is just so dialed, and we have a decision. Who is going to be moving on to face Ernestas Kubulas
And I will.
in the win? Here we
And
go.
The Scotsman might have done it. There we
And
go.
it's done. The Jap Speed R32 gets to move on to the finals. Cameron Mustard going to be facing down Ernestas Kubulas. Don't count Vitaly Isev out now. It's going to be an IRT battle for third place.
And you know what? We can't show the decisions anymore. Because
We can't tell you who wins.
Because this is the podium battles. So first up, we're going to have third and fourth, which is going to be Vitaly Isev versus his teammate Daniel Andreev. So that's going to be very interesting there. And it's in the
Absolutely
final, it's going to
fantastic.
be Ernestas versus Cameron Mustard. This is just going to be insane.
It's going to be an all IRT battle here for this third place position. Look at this. It's going to be hard to differentiate them on the on our screen here because it does get a little bit pixely. So all we'll see is those IRT liveries. But Vitaly Isev is going to be leading in first, and you're going to have. Wow, I can't believe I just blanked.
Daniel Andreev.
Daniel Andreev. Yeah, it's hard to forget a name like Daniel Andreev here, but.
It's because there's so many of
Here
them.
we go. Vitaly Isev in the lead position at A80 Supra. Daniel Andreev in that S15 ready to follow him in. Big flick initiation. These guys probably drive together so much. Look at that. Right there. The proximity is just straight away. Daniel Andreev not backing down. He says, buddy, you're my teammate, but you're standing in the way of my podium here. Daniel Andreev ripping wheels, pushing it onto the door of that A80 Supra. Daniel Andreev just will not back down. Whoa, bit of contact, but they keep it going over the line. What a run.
Oh my god. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Damn. That's pretty good.
Man.
I have nothing to say. That was, yeah, interesting. Swapping them around, we're going to put Vitaly Isev in the chase and Daniel Andreev in the lead. Let's see what they do. We know Vitaly Isev is a very good chaser, same as Daniel Andreev. So here we go.
Daniel Andreev to lead in Vitaly Isev. There we go. The lights will go red. It'll slap on that green. And here we go. Daniel Andreev in the lead position. Vitaly Isev in the chase position. That A80. Not a crash between the drivers, but a crash on the live stream. Blackout needs to.
Yep. We are back.
Right? Our third place battle. Probably would have been the most intense run of the day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so sorry for that interruption. We had our streamer blackout. His OBS did crash there for a moment, which is unfortunate. I mean, that was about
We have a replay, don't we?
Here of a run. We probably don't have a replay because of we probably wouldn't have got one.
Remember, we still have dials. Yeah,
we do have dials, and here we go. We get to see it again.
Right.
I'll commentate it too.
That's the first one.
There we go. This is it. Let's hope that Dials has it here. No.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it is. No.
Oh,
Cuts
no.
off. That's unfortunate. Well, I'm sure it would have been a fantastic run. I'm sure the judges are taking a look at it. They're going to be making their votes here.
Oh, man.
That is unfortunate. We are very apologetic. Oh, look at this. They're lining up for a kiss. That's
Even if they
adorable.
make a decision, we will not.
Yeah,
be
we're
able
not
to
allowed
say.
to tell you who won it because we will be announcing our podium finalists at the podium. Will be that. Just waiting on a decision. This is going to be tight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much once again, everybody, for tuning in with us, sticking with us. I know that our viewer numbers fluctuate throughout the night, but for the people who do stick around, we do truly appreciate it. We all come together to put on one hell of a show. We appreciate it. Blackout here doing a fantastic job streaming. All of our judges doing a beautiful job making sure that we get the right calls at the right times. And I'd like to personally thank you, Alex, you, my buddy in the booth here. You definitely give me my breathing room so I can take a breath after screaming all the whole time.
Yeah, of course, it's what we do, you know. And the battles, the better they get, the more we lose our voices. So let's continue on to the final.
Absolutely. We're waiting here on a decision. Once we get one, like I said, we will not tell you guys who took the win. We will just be sending them down to the podium after the next run, because we do still have our final battle. Please stay tuned. We do have our Nestes Kubulas versus Karen Mustard for our final battle. That one is going to be absolutely insane. But Daniel Andreev and Vitaly Isev here still await their result. We have one vote in, waiting for this other two.
But they won't know the result until the end, so...
Once again, yes, we have said that like 4 times in the last like 30 seconds, so I believe they do know that we will not be telling you what the winner is until we get to that podium ceremony. Looks like we might have a decision? Question mark. We'll have to take a look. Oh, and we have a decision, and it might be an interesting one here for you guys.
It's going to be a one more time.
Well, is it? We'll have to check.
Yeah, it's a one more time.
Alrighty, it looks like it's going to be a one more time between Daniel Andreev and Vitaly Isev, which is great, because after that crash last time with OBS, I was felt a little bit blue balled by the fact that we didn't get to see that second run. So now we get to see it. Vitaly Isev in the lead, Daniel Andreev in the chase. Here we go. We'll get Dyce here on here. Here we go. Vitaly Isev in the lead position, A80. Daniel Andreev going to chase him in. Big flick initiation. Look at that. Big proximity, but pushing him off the course. Oh, no. Oh, that was set up to be such a good run, but Daniel Andreev possibly coming in just a little bit too aggressive, as you are allowed to grab an e-brake there on the initiation. So Vitaly was doing exactly what he is allowed to do in the lead, and then just got hit. You know, it was just that's just unfortunate to see. Daniel Andreev a lot more composed than that usually, so it is unfortunate to see them make a mistake like that. But here we go. Now Vitaly's got to chase in Daniel Andreev. Andreev going to have the clean air to hopefully make up for some mistakes here.
Yeah, 100%. And can he do that insane chase like he did before?
And here we go. Daniel Andreev in the lead position. Vitaly Isev in the chase position, ready to flick it in. Big initiation from Daniel Andreev. Vitaly going to be trying to stick it onto the door, putting that pressure on. Oh, understeer. And it looks like it's going to spin Daniel Andreev. I think that's going to be a 0-0. Are we going to get another one more time?
Yep. I do think so. See, do we think they did that?
They might have done that on purpose, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh no, it might have just been lag from Vitaly.
Yeah, I don't know. That is a weird one. Very weird one.
Definitely an interesting one. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, please leave your opinions below. How are we doing? Is the stream going well? Are you enjoying yourself? Leave it in the comments. Leave it in the live stream chat. How you're feeling about this event? Is it exciting? Are we keeping it good? Vidal's doing his best to sway the vote here. Trying to keep it exciting with those drone cam movements, but here we go. We're gonna get a decision here in a moment on Vitaly Isev versus Daniel Andreev, and that is a 0-0 so far here. So it might be a one more time. We'll have to take a look here. Wow. Dial's just giving us a drone show here.
Here we go. I'm suspecting a flip. Oh.
Well, no, I don't think it'll be a flip just yet. He'll probably go through the tower like he likes to do.
Yeah, he loves to go through that tower. I think what we should do is give him
he's slaloming between the flags. Look at this.
Yeah, I think like what we should really do is just give him a little drone course in the middle of the track, you know, just to put little holes to go through.
Right. We'll use that center section of dirt in the middle of the course. We'll set up like little rings for him to fly through next time.
We'll do a little time section of the stream every time and see what his best time is. Okay, we'll get another one more time. Because, you know, they like making this as long as possible, but, you know, we'll get on with it.
We're going to send him again after the 0-0s there. We want to see a clean battle. Daniel Andreev to chase in Vitaly Isev. So let's send it. Rye's going to want to send them quite soon. Here we go. See the lights come on. They'll go green, and we'll send them. Ladies and gentlemen, for your third place battle, Vitaly Isev and Daniel Andreev. Here we go. The lights go green. Let's send it. Driftland. Here we go. Daniel Andreev going to be chasing in Vitaly Isev, that A80 Super, ready to flick it in. Beautiful initiation from Daniel Andreev, side by side, right there with that. Look at that, pushing the proximity on Daniel Andreev. Beautiful job with the chase position as he transitions on that rear.
Oh my God.
Vitaly Isev, Daniel Andreev not giving him an inch. Look at this, he's pushing the proximity on, putting that pressure on Vitaly Isev as they finish out the run. Beautiful job for that first battle here.
Amazing there for Vitaly Isev.
Absolutely fantastic. I'm almost speechless, man. Now we switch him around. Daniel Andreev going to lead Vitaly Isev in the chase. Vitaly definitely going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat here. He's going to want to make sure that he sticks it to the door just as hard as Daniel Andreev did. This could be the deciding factor. Here we go. Daniel Andreev to lead in. Vitaly Isev in the chase position now.
Side by side.
Here we go. Side-by-side initiation once again. Right there on the door. Put that pressure on. A little bit farther back than Daniel Andreev was, but Daniel Andreev throwing out a pretty good clinic in the lead position. With Vitaly right there on the door. Look at that, putting the pressure through up the hill to clip 6. Look at that, angling up, sticking with him. Beautiful job, that A80 Supra lunging in right there on the door of Daniel Andreev and finishing up the run strong. Oh my God, this could be another one more time.
Please don't. Please don't.
Absolutely fantastic showing from both of these drivers.
Yeah. Okay, they have to make a decision this time, as we just got word from our stream manager, so they're gonna have to dig deep.
Absolutely practically flawless runs from both of these drivers. Andreev pushing so hard in the chase. I don't think I saw a more aggressive chase run today.
Remember,
like, keep in mind, this is the battle. This is the battle for third place. We haven't even gotten to the finals yet. This is the third place battle.
Look at that! Oh my God!
What a run, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the IRT boys. These guys driving together pretty much every day of their lives, apparently, because if this is what their tandems look like, I mean, you got Daniel Andreev there in that S15 and Vitaly Isev in that A80 Supra just sending it. Both together looking absolutely fantastic doing it. This could be a barn burner.
I start to see a couple of mistakes while looking at that drone cam, you know. I do see a couple of dropped tires here and there, so they definitely could be making a decision here. Yeah, and it looks like we do have a decision, so we'll be moving on to the first and second place battle.
Now this is going to be a good one. You have Ernestas Kubulas versus Cameron Mustard. Two fantastic drivers have fought very hard today, have fought valiantly to make it here, and at this point it's a podium or bust. You want to make sure you're up there on that first place step. That top step of the podium is exactly what everybody's looking for here at drift competitions, at any competition, and you know that both these drivers are going to be fighting hard for it. Cameron Mustard knowing that he's got a real hard way to go here. Got a mountain to climb in the form of a yellow S14. And Ernestas Kubulas knowing that he's got a formidable opponent lining up right next to him there. But here we go. See the lights go red, they'll go green. These guys will take off here. Rise will reset the light tree. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your final battle. Leave it in chat. Have a good time. Give us some claps here. Send it, Driftland. Here we go. Ernestas Kubulas in the lead position with Cameron Mustard in the chase position. Ernestas setting it in. Beautiful initiation. Cameron Mustard right there on the door, putting that pressure onto these outside clips, transitioning bumper to bumper.
Oh my God, look at him.
Look at this, putting the pressure on, cannot leave him alone. That S14 being absolutely demolished by this R32 as he's transitioning, launching up onto the front wheel, finishing out the run. Cameron Mustard, everybody. What a battle so far. Cameron Mustard definitely proving that he's got the prowess in the chase. Now he's got to throw down a lead line just as good. And Ernestas Kubulas knowing that he's got an uphill battle here. That chase was absolutely fantastic from Cameron Mustard. But look at this. This is the deciding run right here, right now. Cameron Mustard, Ernestas Kubulas, R32, S14, SVDS, Series 2, Round 2. Who is going to be your winner? The light tree is about to send him so that we can decide. Cameron Mustard in the lead position. Ernestas Kubulas in the chase. Lighting off those tires is Cameron Mustard, and he's going to send it here at Driftland. Cameron Mustard sending it. Ernestas Kubulas rubbing wheels with Cameron Mustard here through that first section of the course. Transitioning into the inside clip. Ernestas right there on the side of that R32 as it comes through this section. Cameron Mustard is not backing down, but Ernestas nosing in, sticking it right on the door of that R32. Big transition, launching up as Ernestas Kubulas here and finishing out the run. Ladies and gentlemen, your finalists. What a run, Alex. I don't think there's any words for what we're looking at here.
We just sit and wait for the decision. No need to talk.
There's no words.
Yeah,
just an absolutely fantastic battle between both these guys. Once again, we will not be announcing the winner if there is one. The only time we'll tell you is obviously if there's one more time. But these judges are going to be looking at these guys for they're going to be clawing at this run tooth and nail to see all the tiny little mistakes between these guys. This is going to be history in the making. Cameron Mustard.
It'll be crazy.
What's that?
One more time in the final.
That would be pretty crazy.
I think it's possible with this run.
Absolutely possible, but there's definitely going to be little things here that the judges are going to be looking at. Is that like possibly could have been a tire drop from her? As could have been.
Yeah.
Again, we're just looking at the replay here. Only have the replays to go on here as he gets up nice and deep in the outside zone. Cameron, though, just right there with him. And Cameron has been on one with those transitions all night, putting that bumper right where it needs to be. Sometimes going through
just
the
look at this entry from
Ernestas. It's crazy. But look at that. Yeah, Alex pointing out the entry from Ernestas right there on the door of that R32, transitioning right there. Not quite having the same angle, but matching it with him to stick with him through this section of the course. Look at that, practically putting the side of his car into the back end of Cameron Mustard there as they finish out the run. Cameron throwing down a beautiful lead line, but Ernestas not giving him an inch. Just absolutely fantastic showing from both of these guys, and we're waiting for a winner here. We've got 1 vote. We still need 2 more to fully decide the winner. Oh, and it looks like we have a decision, so we will be taking it down to the podium. And we'll be moving over into the Group A chat in just a moment. We'll wait until we see the judges move over there, and it'll be solidified.
So we'll run a tiny little ad break, and we'll be back with your podium proceedings.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sticking with us through that ad break. We took a quick one so that we can get everybody set up for your podium announcements. We are thankful that everybody showed up today and everybody had a great time, but I'm going to throw it over to Alex, my other commentator, to announce us who took the win and who's going to be on the podium. So without further ado, Alex, take it away.
Yeah, so amazing driving from all the drivers today, but there is only one winner and one person that will take it home. So I'm gonna be announcing your third place and first place. Okay, so third place, the winner of the third and fourth battle is gonna be Vitaly Iciev in the IRT Supra. He's gonna be taking third place home. Sadly, he will be beating his teammate, but an amazing show up from him and Daniel. And in first place, this has been a long time coming for him, the Scotsman Cameron Mustard, and I know he is going to be very happy that he has won. And second place is going to be Anastas Kubulas. So well done to all these drivers, they drove exceptionally well. And we'll have a word with our first place winner, Cameron Mustard, if you wanted to have an interview, please.
Hello.
Don't know if you... So how are you feeling? It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has been. Well, the second event I've ever won, so it was... yeah, I didn't really think I'd be here. I thought Nessus was going to get it, so I did, to be honest. After watching back the replays on the stream. But was not expecting that at all. So, very happy.
Yeah, well done, of course. So that is going to be it for round 2 of SVDS. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you a lot to our staff, and as well, most importantly, Dials FPV. He has made this round so much better with his drone flying. And yeah, see you guys on next round. See ya.